I know I need to size up with you, and when I defang the Viper, trust me, ain't gonna come from nowhere. Jeff, I already put you out. I don't even know why you're out here right now. Keep on talking. Hey, do me a favor. Why don't you act like this is an AA meeting and you shut your mouth while I'm sharing with the group? And Mustafa, you out here, a boy among men. And I'm gonna tell you what, you got lucky at the Rumble, so I know you're gonna come out here and run your mouth about how bad you are. But let me give you a little bit of a reality check. You see, Mustafa, you said that my eyes don't lie. Well, your eyes don't lie either, because last week, they were closed real tight when I put your simple ass to sleep. And AJ, hey man, be honest with me. How's our old girl Wendy doing?
Welcome back to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. It's me, Hafeez, and with me, as always, is Devin. And yes, we are back. We are here. Yes, it's been a long time, but hope y'all happy to hear our voices. Happy to see our faces.
Yes.
If you're watching on YouTube and Spotify and all that good stuff. It's great to be back. Devin, how you feeling, man? Tell the people how you feel.
Feeling good, feeling great. It is great to be back. I'm very excited. I couldn't wait to get back in the lab with my tag team partner, the Messiah, Hafeez, the Nigerian Nightmare. Talk about some wrestling, man. It's some hot topics out there, but I can't wait, man. Can't wait.
There's a lot that's been going on, because the last time we recorded was after WrestleMania.
Right after WrestleMania.
Post-WrestleMania show. So there's been quite a bit that has happened since then. I don't know. Maybe not so much. There's been a little bit here and there that's been happening. You know, nothing major. You know, right. No, there's been a whole lot that's happened, and we're going to get right into it. And there is no better place to start. Anyone that's been following us, that's been listening to us, knows that there is a certain wrestler that, you know, dominates, especially when it comes to Devin specifically.
Yes.
All right. Because we know Devin, you know, here on this show, we know him as the tribal chief of Clark Street Wrestling, of podcasting. And so, you know, there is no better place. I got to ask this first question. Devin, how are you doing without the tribal chief, without the head of the table, without the one?
I just needed to hear it. It's been a while since I heard it. But even though, shout out to Sami Zayn.
You were trying to hold it down.
Right, trying to hold it down.
Oh, my God.
Whatever that is. I'm going to be real, man. I miss my tribal chief. I miss him, sir. I miss you. I'm going to be real. I miss the presence. I miss the whole tribal chief presentation. Him coming out, you get the pyro. And him stepping into the ring, you get the pyro again. I miss all of that. All right? I just miss him just talking shit in the ring or talking to the crowd. I'm come out there, smack you right in your mouth. I'm like, I miss that. But I do understand, you know, he held it down for the last 2 years. He put in work. Since he came back, he changed the game. He is the man. He is the face of the company, you know. So they're building him as this special attraction, like John Cena level-esque character.
I think it's beyond that.
You think it's beyond
John Cena?
Yeah. Well, take it right away. The wheel is yours, sir. Take it right away.
You know, definitely for me, I mean, Roman, the way that they treat him, like John Cena, he had a long title reign, but I don't feel like it was this long. And the fact that he unified the championships, you know, John Cena did have a match with Randy Orton to unify the championships, but Randy won that one.
Yep.
And like eventually John Cena would become undisputed champion, but I don't know, it was just treated differently. You know, and back-to-back WrestleManias, you know, winning, you know, being on top at the end of the show and just, you know, literally going through everybody, you know, and even as this heel character, I don't know, it's just a little bit different. It feels to me, and, you know, maybe others would feel differently about it, that John Cena still seems a little bit higher than them, but to me, I feel like Roman, in the way that, you know, he is being portrayed by the WWE as like that dude, like literally just, you know, Raw, SmackDown, they're his now. Both shows, they're his. Like this whole thing is his island. You know, it's not just SmackDown, it's Raw.
What did you say a few years ago? I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a good guy. I'm the guy.
It's more, apropos now. It fits even more now than it did then. So yeah, man. I mean, I definitely feel like for me, Roman is that dude, and there's not been a title reign like this and a wrestler put in this kind of light in a long time. John Cena would be the last one, but I feel like Roman Reigns' run here has surpassed anything that I can remember of John Cena's. And I feel like too with John Cena's, there was a lot of, it was annoying, because John Cena never turned heel.
Yeah, he was a face.
With Roman, just embracing that, it's been more enjoyable than John Cena's run for me as well. So that's probably another reason why I feel better about this one.
And since he has the lighter schedule, it kind of fits within it's his heel character. He's only going to show up for the big matches, the stadium premium live events.
Right.
Money.
But now the other part about this though is, how do you feel though about watching Raw and SmackDown knowing he's not around? Because I'll be real, like for me, especially during these last couple months here that we've been, on this hiatus, that I felt like I could take a little bit of a step back because I knew, hey, Roman Reigns isn't going to be there. So the excitement level that I have for Raw SmackDown is not as high. Like both championships are not being even shown on these shows. And so it has taken a little bit away from me that he's gone. I can respect why he's left, and, it's no shade on him necessarily, but for the shows, like the overall excitement that I've had for the shows has come down since he's been gone. So for you, like, we hear and we see and we already know how you gonna feel about Roman Reigns not being there. That was just for you to say it. But now flipping it a little bit, how do you feel about Raw and SmackDown absent the tribal chief? Like, do you
I don't feel it on Raw because, shout out to Seth Rollins and Cody. They held it down. So my excitement,
that's a good point,
pretty much stayed consistent. Like, oh, I'm ready for Raw because whatever Cody and Seth got going, shout out to Zeke and KO too. That's been helping. Tag team champions has been going back and forth between Raw and SmackDown, but that's been helping. But I sorely miss him on SmackDown. SmackDown sucks without the tribal chief. I will admit that wholeheartedly. It sucks without the tribal chief. Knowing that I'm about to watch a SmackDown without the tribal chief, I kind of keep it like to you. It's kind of in my background. Like I just be on my phone, see what's going. Okay, I see which matches. I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna pay attention. But all right, whatever. But when the tribal chief was on there, I'm more focused, less on my phone, because he's gonna be shown like throughout the entirety of the show, like the beginning, the middle, and the end. So that's what is missing, man. Tribal chief on SmackDown. Because I still, even though he has both championships, I still see him as a SmackDown guy.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he hadn't been shy about saying like that's his favorite championship. That the Universal Championship, that's his baby. That's the one. And the WWE Championship is just the one that solidifies his overall stranglehold on WWE, that all of WWE is his. But yeah, definitely I see him too as more of a SmackDown guy and, more of a Universal Champion than, WWE champion. But yeah, it's been interesting, man. I mean, definitely I feel like WWE already misses, Roman Reigns. And it doesn't help, that there's now Cody Rhodes is injured and has surgery. He's going to be gone for 9 months. Although I feel like he's going to be back a little bit sooner. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, I just feel like, Roman, he's earned this for sure. But it almost feels like maybe they didn't plan this out fully to where, he could have dropped the belt, before he takes this break. I think they just maybe in contract negotiations it just happened, and he's like, "All right, I'm gone. I'm taking my break now, or I'm gonna be off now." They're like, "Okay, well, like we're not gonna take the belt off you now because we just put it on you." So, it's a little tricky. How long do you see him holding on to the championship? Both of them. Like, do you see him going until next WrestleMania, or do you see him losing it prior to that?
That's a good question, but I'm gonna stick with. Tribal chief, we the ones. He's gonna keep it until next WrestleMania. until I see something in the storytelling otherwise that could change that, because that's a long way off. But I'm just gonna stick with the way he's been built, like no one other. He's gonna hold on for both of them for a while. All right, so get used to it, like it or not.
I feel like there was a little bit of a tease, and I think Bobby may have done this on his own, but he held up a championship that a person in the crowd had
the
at Hell in a
WWE
Cell.
championship.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, but then he did that thing with Theory for the United States Championship, so maybe he's going for that instead. I don't know, but I don't think Bobby beats him for the championship. I feel like the one threat right now for him, especially with Cody being gone, I feel like that's more of a WrestleMania thing. But they have this thing, Clash at the Castle, coming up in Wales, I think it is, with Drew versus Roman, and they're talking about that already, like that's gonna happen. And Drew did a interview out there, in front of a castle with somebody, and they're slowly but surely, building towards that. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to happen there, but that's one where I'm going to have my eyes peeled to see. Like, I definitely want to see that match, because that's one where, hey, this is the only other guy that I could see besides Cody that they're building in a way that makes you think maybe he could have a chance. Will it happen? I don't know. I think that crowd out there is going to be nuts. And I think if you were going to do it and you wanted a reaction for Drew, that would be the place to do it.
Yes.
Seriously. So I think it'll be very interesting to see what happens. I wouldn't put it past them to have Roman, upset that crowd and retain in that match too. So that one is going to be a fun one to see. Yes.
Get them ones that will be just like this. Yeah.
Yep. I think so,
Drew McIntyre. But it's going to be a good story, because he has this backstory of he won the WWE Championship 2 times, but it was 2 times not in front of a crowd. So he has a very interesting backstory going into this this build, which should be good, because it's going to help. It's going to help Drew.
Yeah,
definitely going to help Drew.
Definitely. Yeah, man. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But yes, the head of the table just had to get a sense of how Devin felt about the Tribal Chief not being there, not being around. So we got that now. So
still got love for my Tribal Chief. Still love my Tribal Chief. We the ones. Get them ones up, everybody. Get them ones up, listeners, viewers. I see y'all.
Still the same energy. We wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
Speaking of energy, so there's been a lot of energy, a lot of focus, a lot of talk around wrestlers not being happy with their current situations and either walking out or dropping pipe bombs. So we're going to talk about it here. So we've got a couple different ones specifically that we're going to highlight. On the AEW side, you got MJF with his pipe bomb, which was insane. And then the WWE side, you have Sasha and Naomi walking out, taking their ball and going home. And so both these situations are unique in their own way, but it is interesting that they're happening around the same time. So let's go with the one I just mentioned first, and then we'll save the MJF one. So Sasha and Naomi. Story goes, according to WWE, because to this point, we still have not heard officially, to my knowledge, from Sasha or Naomi specifically about what happened. But as the story goes, they were booked to be in a like 6-pack challenge to figure out who was going to be the number 1 contender for Bianca Belair's championship. And then, they in the morning they were booked for it or whatever. I don't even know if it was in the morning, but they were booked to be there and they advertised it for that show. But then, there's some disagreement. They went to John Laurinaitis' office. They told him, hey, we're being disrespected as women's champions. We don't like what's going on. They put the titles on his desk, had their bags already ready, and they left. They walked out on the show. Then WWE incorporated this in the show. Becky Lynch goes to, I forget who it was, Adam Pearce or someone, and says, hey, Sasha and Naomi are gone. They left. Like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen for this match? And so it turned into Becky Lynch versus Asuka to see who was going to be the number 1 contender. And that's how they just kind of fixed the situation at the time. But in the midst of all that, you have commentary making comments about Sasha and Naomi and how unprofessional they are being by not showing up, letting millions of fans down, by not appearing. Then you had WWE post on their website, like, hey, in detail, first of all, Raw is a scripted show, and the wrestlers had 5 hours to prepare, and they were booked in this match with people that they had worked with before, and they expressed concern about who they were going to be in the ring with, even though they had worked with those people without any issue before that. And so, again, reiterating the unprofessionalism. Yeah, Corey Graves talking about it was terrible, it was despicable. Yeah, with Michael Cole talking about the unprofessionalism on SmackDown, where Pat McAfee didn't say nothing. He just kind of sat there and was like, "Yeah, Michael, you say what Vince is telling you to say. I'm gonna just sit here and do me."
Right.
So,
but he had like this look, like the fuck,
right? Like, what is happening?
Right.
I've never seen anything like this before. I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's well known now that he had taken his ball and went home before as well with an issue that he had with Vince McMahon. There was the whole thing where he was supposed to lose to Brock Lesnar in King of the Ring, not a pay-per-view, no build-up. He didn't like it after the whole thing that went down with Scott Hall and him going against Scott Hall instead of going against Hogan at WrestleMania. I guess there was a big build-up there. So he said no, and he walked out. He didn't do the match with Brock, and that was a big thing. I think The Rock ended up coming out and saying Austin took his ball and went home.
Oh, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, this is not anything new as far as wrestlers having issues with the boss or with WWE and walking out. The thing that's new is WWE being so upfront about speaking against that wrestler and burying that wrestler on television. Official statements. This is a scripted show. Yeah. I've never seen them put out a statement mentioning Raw in that way on WWE.com. Maybe they've done it before to like investors or whatever, like on a business side. Okay, fine. But I don't know. This whole thing was weird. So what was your take on all of this? Where are you at with it? Let us know.
So when I first got wind of it, I think through like you said, when you was recapping and Becky was talking to Adam Pearce, and that caught me on ground. I'm like, the fuck? What are they talking about? Sasha and Naomi left. What the hell? And then you hear the statement by commentary, and then the following that Friday, Michael Cole, like you said it again. We see the official statement. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Usually WWE is not like this. They're more like private, take this behind doors, and usually, people just speculate from there, dirt sheets and whatnot. But no, they come out with official statement, like, nah, this is what it is, this is what happened. I'm like, whoa. And at that point, I was still like, is this a work? Because they didn't use their real names. They used their wrestler names. Because I remember when they released John Moxley, and they called him by his name, like Jonathan Goodman?
Is that you're right, yeah.
Yeah, and they called him by his shoot name. They didn't say Dean Ambrose by his character name that he was. They just mentioned the official statement. So I'm like, when I saw that, I'm like, I don't know, this feels a little bit of a work, because it's just something. It's just off. WWE being very vocal out front, telling the WWE universe that we're ashamed of them. Dude, I'm like, what the hell what is this? They're burying their talent right there.
Yeah.
Like they're coming off, they're looking like the bad guys almost, like what to me. And then man, it was just weird. It was just that's all I could say about it, man. It was just weird. I thought it was a work, and now I'm thinking maybe it wasn't, because they just been very quiet. Nothing from both sides. That's about it. I think I saw a tweet from Naomi on Twitter. It was she tweeted like a video, and you could speculate, is it about what happened, getting released just from the video that she tweeted? But I don't know, man. That's about it, man. But it looked like from the pictures that's surfacing through the social media, it looked like Sasha and Naomi having a good time. out there. You see Sasha out there kicking it with her cousin Snoop. You see Naomi kicking it with her husband. You know, they just chilling, bro. But yeah, man, that's what I got to say about that.
Did you feel let down? Because that was one of the things that they said. Mike Cole was like, "Hey, let down millions of their fans." Did you feel let down when they didn't show up? Like, what was your reaction from that perspective?
I was trying to put myself in their shoes, but I know how I am. So if I'm here to do a job, I'm gonna do the job. That's what I'm paid to do. All right, that's what that's just how I am. Well, how you feel is how you feel, but just for me, it's like, all right, if I do have a situation, like, all right, I need to speak on it, but even though it still falls within my job responsibility, I still got to do it, but I'm gonna let them know too. Let them know, still gonna do it. If it don't work out, then you know, I gotta think about making some moves.
Yeah.
They walked out. To me, it's like I don't do that. I'm not gonna walk out on you. I signed a contract. I know when I'm here. I'm a grown adult. This is what I'm here. I might, if an issue come apart, we're gonna have the discussion. We're gonna talk it, because that's what they said. They talked. So I guess the talks didn't fall through, and they left. Took their belt, dropped the belts and walked, man. That's what they did. But I'm just saying, I don't operate like that. I don't.
Yeah, and I hear what you're saying there. You know, I feel like for me, the hard part is, you know, we don't know exactly what promises were made, what was said, what their relationship is like. Like, there's a lot that we just aren't privy to be able to say, hey, they shouldn't have walked out in that moment. You know, you're speaking to your professionalism in general, and like, hey, if I'm paid to do a job, and you know, that's how you operate, is you will complete the job. And that's totally fair. You know, their specific situation, we don't know all of the things that are affecting them in that situation. Maybe there were some promises made. Maybe there were some things said by Laurinaitis, by Vince McMahon, and then they show up and it's something completely different. And now they're like, no, we're not doing that. You said we're doing this, and now we're doing that. You know, for all we know, it could be WWE being unprofessional, and they said, I'm done with this. We put up with this long enough. Like, I'm not going. Like, we just don't know. So it's hard. It's hard to speculate on.
That's why I'm not knocking them from what they do. I'm just saying from
your perspective, and
from my perspective. That's just how my mindset is. Like, you do y'all. That's what y'all did. All right. Yeah. And I'm not knocking y'all with Naomi and Sasha did. All right. But I'm just saying, with me, you know, if I was in that same situation, I would have completed the job. I would have, you know, we're gonna have the conversation. And I think even Stone Cold even said that too. Like, he, you know, if he can go back, that was one thing he will do. He wouldn't have walked out. So, you know, to each his own though, man.
I guess I just, you know, why I brought up the did you feel let down is that part. To me, I feel like WWE's not gonna win that, because, you know, when you're talking about the women's tag team division, it's been a joke. I mean, they just treat it like it doesn't even exist. So when I hear like they had an issue with that, I'm like, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. That totally, I get it. And then to say that they let the WWE universe down, they let millions of fans down, like, they don't, I feel like they're tone deaf when it comes to how fans really feel about them. You know, like, the fans are not there for Vince McMahon or there for, you know, upper management. You know, they're there for the wrestlers, and they know that there's a lot of bullshit that's been going on with how they're being booked, you know, and just how some of their characters are being treated, and how some characters are not on television. And so whenever you say like, okay, a wrestler has a problem with something, I feel like most fans are going to be like, oh, well, good, they finally stood up for themselves in a sense, you know. Now, there is that professionalism part about like, hey, you're there for a job, you know, and how you do that in a general sense. But specifically with WWE, like, in terms of in the face of public opinion, you know, to say that, to try to make it seem like these two are letting us down is not the right angle whatsoever for WWE, in my opinion.
They wasn't even being professional with that statement. Like, they could have said the situation of what happened and left that they let us down. They let the whole WWE. They just could have kept that apart.
Just keep that out of it.
Keep that out. Right.
Don't speak for me. Like, as a fan, don't tell me how I'm supposed to feel about this.
Right. You need to feel mad about this.
You should feel like they let you down.
Right.
Like,
no.
what?
No.
No.
Hell no.
People that are fans of Sasha and Naomi and they see this, they're going to be like, oh, what did Vince do now? You know, what bullshit did he say to them now? You know, what did John Laurinaitis, what did this company do now? Because we know there's so many names and so many stories. I mean, I immediately went back to, like, you know, Miro being disrespected over the whole, like, your merch is selling, but it doesn't matter. You know, like, they're chanting your name, but they're making fun of you. Like, what bullshit did they say now? John Moxley's interviews. Like, we always hear, I mean, Tony Storm recently, you know, like, talking about WWE and how they just don't give a shit. Like, it's just, I feel like it's going to be hard for WWE to try to paint the picture like they're the bad guy in this situation. Just, hey, don't say anything about it publicly, because also, too, you may want, they want them back. Like, it's not like they fired them. They said they, you know, indefinitely suspended. Well, if that's the case, if they do decide to come back, like, this character assassination is not good.
It's not gonna
help, you know, you at all.
Sasha Banks, she's a made star. And she's in Disney. I could go see her watch in The Mandalorian. She is made. She's getting other acting parts.
Yep.
Naomi, she's part of the bloodline. That's it. That's all I need to say. Like, she is cool. All right. Like, they're good. Like, to your point, WWE should be begging them. Like, we fucked up. We didn't mean to put that out there. That's on us. You know?
Yeah, I feel like there could be a conversation to be had to where they could smooth things out, but it doesn't help when you start trying to bury them after the fact and you let the fans down. You let these people down. These same wrestlers, when they go out there and pour their blood, sweat, and tears into every match, you know, trying, you know, damn near almost killing themselves, you know, doing these moves for us, you know, just to entertain us. And then you want to try to, you know, forget all that. Look at this one moment. Say, oh, they let you down. You should feel like they let you down. What? No,
the whole WWE universe down. I'm like, damn, really, Michael Cole?
Like, no, they did. They've done so much to give me enjoyment and just to give me happiness and joy. Like, I feel totally appreciative of both Naomi and Sasha. Yes. And so, as far as letting me down, no, they've done enough to give me memories to last a lifetime. Yep. So I will never feel let down by them for not showing up for one extra show. You know, like, it's not. If they were injured, right, and they couldn't perform, I'm not gonna say they let me down. So they had a dispute with y'all, and they decided not to wrestle. You guys have something to work out. Figure it out, but don't put me in that as a fan and say, "Oh, man, you should feel like they let you down." You should get on Twitter and start saying they're unprofessional.
Michael Cole, tell the WWE universe they should feel bad.
Yeah, right. They should be angry. What? Stop it. So ain't nobody going for that, man. I feel like everybody, we know that, you know, that something like that kind of line is not going to work. So, but speaking of unprofessional, people being called unprofessional, MJF threw that line in his pipe bomb too. For fans who said he was unprofessional for not showing up to a signing that was booked before their last
fans paid for it. They did get their refund, but they paid for it.
Right, they paid for it. So this whole thing too, I mean, this has been going on for a while with MJF, where he did the Ariel Helwani interview and then didn't tell Tony Khan. And all throughout this whole thing, it's like, is this a work or is this a shoot? Because with MJF, he's always in character. So I feel like you'll never know. You will never know what's really going on with him. But I will say this, on this one, it's very entertaining. And I feel like we as fans are winning in this whole thing with MJF and Tony Khan, because whether it's a work or a shoot, I feel like we're winning, because that pipe bomb was one of the best promos that I've ever seen. And I'm going to go ahead and say that between this one and the CM Punk one, I kind of felt this one a little bit more than the CM Punk one. Now, with CM Punk at that time, I was like, okay, this feels like a work. Like, it never really felt like a shoot to me until later on when I was finding out, like, his contract is up. That's it. This is probably his last match. I was like, oh, shit. You know, because I'm like, they're not going to let him get on the mic and say all this, and then they cut out his mic right then.
When they cut off his mic, that kind of worked for me. I was like, well, hold on, was this for real?
Like what got me is when he said, "I'd like to think that WWE would be better when Vince McMahon is dead."
Yes.
That line, I was like, "Ooh, wait a minute, what's happening right now? What's going on?" So that was crazy. And I'm not me saying this about MJF's is not to say that CM Punk's was not like amazing. Like it was what it was for that moment in time. That at that time was like I had never heard anything like this before. That's crazy. But this one, I think why it's a little bit more is because and CM Punk was a heel at that time too, but I feel like he was always like the cool heel, even though he tried to get people to hate him. Like CM Punk, I never got to a point where I was just like, oh, this guy gets under my skin. Like, I hate this dude. I hate him. But with MJF, it's like, man,
Undertaker, he got me there.
Yeah, I mean, with Paul Bearer and stuff. But I feel like even that, there was probably a conversation that happened. And it's like, Undertaker's not going to let you do all this with the ashes and stuff like that and get away with that. No, he's not going to let that happen. So I still felt like it's cool. You know, like CM Punk was cool. And I actually loved all of that with it, even though I was like, I cringed with the Undertaker stuff and Paul Bearer because Paul Bearer really died. And, you know, you got Paul Heyman and CM Punk acting a fool about Paul Bearer. But I still felt like they're doing this together. You know, Undertaker is approving this stuff.
Yeah.
But with MJF, like the things that this man, again, he's always in character. And, you know, he's talked about Pillman's mom and you know, Metheny and all this stuff. And stuff. I cringed so many times with this dude. I'm like, man, like, I don't know. Like, you gotta chill, MJF. You know, like some of the stuff, if you go on YouTube and you see like his interactions with people, it's like, dude, man, you saying this to a kid? Like, and sometimes it's funny.
Yeah,
like sometimes
like
right, flicking off kids and you know, going back and forth. I'm like, man, like you don't have a line? Like, what's going on? But you know, it is what it is, and I can respect his hustle and respect what he's doing. But with this, I think what got me is I feel like MJF transformed into from the biggest heel in the company to maybe the biggest face in the company overnight. Like right then and there with that. In a way that CM Punk, I kind of expected that from CM Punk. I did not expect to feel like, wow, I'm rooting for MJF. I never thought I would be saying it to that level, you know, in that way, to where I'm like, I want to see, I've always wanted MJF to stay heel and do his thing. I think he's entertaining as a heel. He's the best heel they got. Yeah. He's one of the best heels in wrestling.
Kind of hard now.
But now I feel like I want to see MJF as a good guy. I want to see MJF become champion as a babyface. What? MJ? How? And I just that shock for me is why I'm kind of propelling this a little bit over that, because I did not see that coming. I didn't see. He gave me something that I didn't think I would ever feel, you know, for MJF.
Yeah.
And just it work or shoot. I feel like this whole thing is it's a shoot
it's
from a standpoint of the money.
Yeah,
I think that's real. That he feels like
it started as a shoot, and they want to use it as a story now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
exactly. That's how I feel about this. That's how this is coming across. But man, the passion he spoke with when he said, "Oh, like Tony Khan was going to hoard that money, and he's only giving it out to the ex-WWE guys." Hey, Tony, would you pay me more if I was an ex-WWE guy?
Oh, bro, I was in tears when you said that. I was in tears. I'm like, bro,
wow, like we're doing this. We are doing this.
I was like, come on, MJF. Don't fuck up your money, bro.
Dude, that was wild. That was wild for me. Him saying that, and then literally after this whole thing, they had Miro return, and he went against
Johnny Elite.
Johnny Elite, yes, thank you. Like, oh my God, literally talking about ex-WWE guys, and here he is.
Here we are.
Here we are. Ex-WWE guys. I mean, the dude has a point.
Yeah.
So,
you know what? And I think it's a general consensus of how you feel. Kind of, I saw that resonate with the crowd when MJF was given that promo, because he started getting boos, and in the end he was getting cheers, you know. And it was funny that he mentioned that he was like, oh you want to cheer me now? Like, what was your cheers when you was calling me unprofessional? I was like, bro,
dang, I can't wrestle. Why? Because I don't hurt, because I don't drop people on their
heads. I'm like,
yeah. I said, damn.
I was like,
damn,
bars.
I don't got to do a bunch of bullshit. I make you feel, and I don't got to do a bunch of bullshit to get you there.
I was like,
said,
bars.
Damn.
Give it the bars. This is why he's my favorite in AEW.
Yeah.
He's
the best they got.
He tells the best stories.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now he's not there anymore. So I don't know how long, and that's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Kind of did suck on Dynamite because that was the story that gets me to gravitate because just the way he tells it, and in the ring, he's a class act in the ring. The way he wrestles, takes his time, similar to. I might get flack for this, but I don't care. It's similar to Ric Flair, yeah. And with me, it's just that old school. Just I'm not gonna flip. I'm gonna tell a story. I'm gonna make this move matter. That you know what I'm saying? That gets me to care. It gets me to care, and that's why he's my favorite in AEW, man. MJF.
Yeah.
Like Tony, you fucking mark.
Yeah.
Fire me.
Fire me.
I was like, he called him a mark.
Dude.
He called him a mark, bro.
And that's another Ric Flair similarity, too, because Ric Flair had a promo similar to that against, I think it was against Vince McMahon, telling Vince to fire him in similar ways. So, yeah, man. I mean, the comparisons are there for sure. I feel like that you're well within reason to say, like, there are similarities with him in the ring, like Ric Flair, definitely on the mic, like Ric Flair. And just, the way, the wordsmith that he is, and he talked about that too, and like the way, like my penmanship is pristine or whatever he said. I was like, whoa, this dude, like you said, man, bars, dropping bars with ether in the background, man. Just like
that's all you got to do, just put the ether in the back, man, perfect. Just dropping bar after bar. That MJF promo,
yes. Dude, it was something. It was something. Yeah. So for me, I watched that promo. I watched it again and again and again, and I was just like, wow, like this is great storytelling, and this is the best story they have going on in AEW. And to me, I keep thinking, because one thing we talked about too, one of the last topics we had around AEW was around storytelling and just the lack thereof in AEW.
Yep.
For AEW, it seems like, yes, there is a lot around the wrestling, and that's cool. Like they have guys who can wrestle. They're some of the best wrestlers in the world for sure. But at the end of the day, does it matter if you don't care? If they don't have a storyline that gets you invested in what's going on? And MJF is clearly right now the best at it. Like anytime MJF has a match, you care because he is able to tell a great story in building up the feud between him and Wardlow, him and Jericho, him and CM Punk. Like there's this consistency around him with storytelling. Like he just gets it, and Cody was another guy like that too when he was in AEW, where he would tell a story. And yes, he was long-winded in some of the ways he would tell a story, and
his stories was a little different in I would say that his stories was a little bit different in AEW. I would get lost in some of his storytelling. But now in WWE is I don't feel that way at all.
Yeah, well, and we'll talk about that too, because Cody Rhodes, that's like a whole nother thing going on right now. But like the point with Cody Rhodes in AEW, I think was at least there was that effort to try to get you to care, about what they had going on, whatever match they had coming up. They would try to tell that story. Whereas a lot of these guys now, I don't know, and I'm gonna put it on Tony because it's his ship. It just seems like there's a lack of storytelling overall, like big picture ideas. Where are we going with this kind of storytelling? It's just kind of happening. Like some things are just like, okay, we're making these matches week in and week out, but there's no direction.
So I watched about 3 years of AEW. What I get, what I see from Tony, he likes the debuts, he likes the dream matches, and he likes the wrestling. Storytelling, it feel like that's not a main focus, and it's basically up to the wrestler itself. And I feel like, so like to your point, Cody Rhodes, he kind of succeeded in that, and now you got MJF who just taking the bull by the horns and just like, bro, I'm the best storyteller in this game. But
I think that's why Eddie Kingston too is starting to become a favorite wrestler for a lot of people. Like when Eddie Kingston first started off, it was like, okay, yeah, we'll see Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
But now people love Eddie Kingston. I mean, you could argue Eddie Kingston is one of their top 5 guys in the company right now, but that's because of his storytelling.
Yep.
Like as great as Jon Moxley is, like, I mean, between Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston, I don't know. It's a debate to say who is more like a favorite of WWE or of AEW fans. Is it Moxley or is it Kingston? I would kind of argue it's Kingston just because of the way he gets you to care, in the way he does his promos. With Moxley, it's kind of like, hey, I just want to fight. I just want to beat people up. I just want to make people bleed. That's pretty much it. Simple. But with Kingston, it gets personal. Yeah. Like him and Jericho and just that
trying to kill somebody in the goddamn ring.
Oh my God,
Anarchy, bro, looking like a fucking zombie, just zone the fuck out with some gasoline, bro.
With Bryan Danielson right there.
Dousing,
no chill. Dousing both of them.
Like, what the fuck? It's like, what the fuck? I get zero fucks, man. I'm gonna get the job done, period. I don't care.
Killing this dude. I'm done.
Right. I'm taking you with
him.
Right. I got 2 birds with 1 stone, man. I don't like you. I remember what you said about me.
You don't like Daniel Yep. Oh man, because I remember there was when Bryan got stuck in between the ramp and the ring.
Yeah.
When he finally got loose, Eddie just seemed annoyed. Like everybody else was like, yeah, good. Bryan got out. And then the Kings was like, yeah. Come on, hurry up. Like he was like annoyed that this whole thing was going on over his leg.
Wrap this shit up,
like,
B.
I was like, what? I watched the video. I said, what's going on with Eddie and Bryan over there, man? Like something's happening. So yeah, man. But anyway, back to MJF. So they have something here, with this work shoot storyline. I feel like they've gotten a lot of people to, or I'm going to give more of the credit to MJF. I'll give Tony Khan credit for allowing MJF the platform to be able to just go ahead and do his thing. And, credit to MJF for doing his thing and hitting grand slams like he said he did.
Like for home runs. My man said I'm hitting grand slams all the time.
Yeah,
every time.
Every single time hitting grand slams.
I'm like, bro, pay this man, bro. What is you doing?
Pay him.
Like
pay him. Don't wait till 2024. You pay him right now. He
like,
has earned that shit.
I pay you all the money.
Vince will. Vince definitely will pay him that money just to spite Tony Khan. Like, he's not what?
You can keep your AEW character. Bring it over. You just need the platform. I give it to you. But look at Cody. Look how Cody getting taken care of. I didn't touch nothing. All I just added a little something here, a little salt and pepper, a little explosion. We couldn't do the rise ups, coming at the center like, no, Cody, just more pyro. Okay, how about that?
More pyro. Give me more pyro. How about that? Cool. All right.
He was like, cool.
Oh my goodness, man. Yeah, man. So MJF, keep doing your thing. I'm looking forward to seeing this dude return. When he returns, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. I can't wait.
Yeah, he's gonna get big.
Yeah. So building off of that too, with disgruntled wrestlers in AEW specifically, Thunder Rosa made it known that she was annoyed with the fact that she wasn't getting TV time, especially, Thunder Rosa right now is the AEW Women's Champion. Yeah. And after the pay-per-view match, or the pay-per-view match that she had defending the title against Serena Deeb, there's no mention on Dynamite of that match. The result, there was no
which was fire, by the way. Which was fire.
It was fire. Yeah. The match was amazing. But yeah, no mention of that whatsoever. Jade Cargill was mentioned, and Jade Cargill has been a presence. And to be fair to them about champion. This, yes. Wait, say it again.
I say true champion.
Yeah, true champion. Right.
Jade Cargill, she is.
Jade Cargill, yeah, she is getting that push. She's getting the shine. She's getting the spotlight. So they are doing it for Jade. But for Thunder Rosa, they are not. And it kind of highlights what we've been talking about when it comes to AEW's women's division. To this date, there is still now, at pay-per-views, okay, they're doing 2 matches
every 90 days. Wow. Wow. I gotta wait a whole 90 days to watch more than one wrestling women's match. Cool.
Yeah, man, it's unacceptable. Like, let's just call it what it is. It's unacceptable. Like, it's beyond ridiculous. And now, and you had brought up a point too when Toni Storm debuted. You said you couldn't even get excited about it because you look at Ruby Soho. There was all this excitement. Oh, Ruby Soho, okay, yeah, she's tenured. She's been wrestling for a while. They're gonna show her and showcase her all the time. She's going to be there, and this will be the beginning of great things for the women's division, yada, 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 and it's more of the same. And now she's mostly on Dark. We're not even seeing her on Dynamite all that much. Here and there when they do their tournaments, she'll be in the tournament. But then what? She's just gone. So, which is bizarre. Toni Storm is like, okay, I was excited. I'm like, ooh, Toni Storm. There's no way that they can, keep her off of television. It's Toni Storm. But
she's a woman at the end of the day.
Hey, man, you only calling it how you seeing it.
I call spade a spade, bro. If she was a male, it'd be very different.
It'd be very different. For Tony, he is, like you said, we've been watching this for 3 years. And I feel like we see Tony has shown us where he's at.
Give it 3 more years.
Right, give it 3 more years. No. Tony, this is who he is.
It is decided.
Yes, this is who he is.
Right.
He does not care about women's wrestling. He just does not care.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about, okay, if he sees something like, for instance, Britt Baker, Jade Cargill, those two, he's decided, yes, I'm going to show them one way or another. They'll be featured. But as far as the women's division and building stars and telling stories, no. Or having more than one match, he does not care about that women's division. They are not the priority. And it sucks. The fact that women's wrestling in general has just grown so much, leaps and bounds from what it was back in the Attitude Era when it was bra and panties matches. Now we're seeing, main event matches, Hell in a Cell matches, all this, like they breaking down all the barriers that used to be there. And yet with AEW, it feels like a bunch of steps backwards for women's wrestling because it's not respected. Now, they're not doing the bra and panties matches. They're not doing all that stuff that demeans women. But like the fact that you have so many talented women, like that roster just keeps getting built. They just got Athena. I'm not holding my breath for them to showcase her like she deserves to be showcased.
She's gonna get buried, especially by Jade.
Dude,
that's not fair.
It's not. We can't make excuses for this. You just can't. You just got to call it like you see it. And the man has shown us who he is. He does not care about women's wrestling. It's not about time anymore. It's about, does he care? And I think the answer is no. He just does not. That's what he's showing us.
I got 3 years of work.
And they want to say, hey, give it time, this and that. I don't throw shade on those people because they want to believe that he does care. It's just, there's this or that. And the optimism is noted and I can understand. And I hope you're right. I'm just not optimistic about it anymore. I just feel like what I'm seeing is what it is. And this dude is showing me that he just does not give a shit. So that's just where I'm at with that. Go ahead. I feel like you're just ready to explode on this one, man. So go ahead, man. Let it out.
Even though we was gone for 2 months, we still kept in contact. So my frustration. I think I just recently texted this. I was like, bro, Tony does not care about women's wrestling.
Nope. He doesn't.
I've seen the proof, man. Like, how does Thunder beat Britt Baker? And Britt Baker continues to shine on the camera, and Thunder's just like getting a few minutes.
Yeah, if that.
Even though Thunder's the champion. Like, okay, I get it. Thunder's not the best at promos, but you got to work around that. That's just work around that. Highlight what she's good at, and then put that in the shadow of what she's bad at. Like, all right, she doesn't do live promos well, or it doesn't come out as, I shouldn't say well. because she just comes out enthused, but it's just, I don't know. Sometimes it's like a hit or miss with me, you know, with the Thunder or Rosa promos. But you know, when she came out the gate in AEW, I was like, whoa, who is she? The way she wrestles, she had like this attitude, you know, just very technical, very overall great wrestler. Just I feel like she didn't really have a weak spot. She showed power. She showed she could be she could do submission moves. I'm like, bro, she is ready to go. So all right, after 3 years, we finally pulled the trigger. All right, Tony made her as champion. I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. It goes literally nowhere. Barely, you know, had a story built up with Serena Deeb. By the way, it was a fire match, but the build was garbage. It was garbage. He did not build these two ladies up at all. Barely had any face time with Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa. You know.
Well, and also too, one thing before I forget, because I want to make this point, because you had said about Thunder Rosa's promos and that it doesn't really grab you, and maybe that's one reason why they're not showcasing on TV, yada yada. Here's my problem with that though. Adam Hangman Page, I don't think he's a great promo either. But they don't hesitate to show him every single week, one way or another. Like, you can't tell me that he's a better promo than Thunder Rosa. You know what I'm saying? And so both of them, for me, I feel like it's good enough for where they can
it's serviceable.
Get the point across. Yeah, it's serviceable. And really, AEW's formula is not around promos. It's that their whole thing. I mean, we talked about MJF and the Jerichos. Like, it's up to them. Like, if they could do it, okay, fine. But for the most part, AEW's whole thing is really about the wrestling and just showcasing like dream matches, classic matches. Jungle Boy, what promo skills have we seen from Jungle Boy? Yet he's featured every single week.
Christian stalking. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. They find a way. Jade Cargill, like they have her with a manager now to help with the promos. Like they've decided to invest in her, so they're trying to put everything they can into making her a star. So that's her. But for whatever reason, they don't do that consistently for the women's division to really put that spotlight on the division. It's just Britt Baker. They decided, and Britt Baker deserves it for sure. Jade Cargill deserves it for sure. But Thunder Rosa is your champion. Like, we saw the same thing with Hikaru Shida, where she was the champion. They didn't put the focus on her at all. She was just kind of there, and sometimes you forget she was champion.
I think the excuse said, "Oh, she's in Japan over at Joshi Wrestling or something like that." I'm like, okay, show me a package video.
Right.
Show me some package videos about how much that championship means to her. I was like, okay, cool. Work with what you got. Right. And that's what you got to do.
She's your champion.
Yep, she's your champion. You got to show her.
Show her now, yeah. And at that time, they didn't even have the TBS championship, and they still weren't showing the one women's champion they had. So it's just. It's wild, man. It's wild. Like, the excuses, there are no excuses for what's happening.
Hafeez. They need more time. A couple of more years.
Yeah, it's not about timing at all. But
seriously, when does that conversation end for time?
It's over. For us, it's never been a
give it 4 more years. Give it 5 more years. When? I just want to know that
right. Yeah, because, okay, so the argument around time would be around like, hey, some of the wrestlers, they're not comfortable on the microphone. They're not comfortable, being on TV and really, like speaking to a crowd in that way. But like I said, I mean, on the men's side, we see the same thing. There are plenty of the guys who feel like they're not a great promo, but they're amazing in the ring. And so they just highlight their strengths and they hide their weaknesses. That's just what they do. And the people that are strong on the mic, they may pair them up with one of those guys to then help tell a great story. Like when you had, for instance, Darby Allin and MJF. MJF was carrying that when it came to promo. Like, Darby Allin really didn't say anything. He was, getting, like, MJF was tearing into his family, tearing into the car accident, going into all this history. And Darby Allin just reacted.
Yep.
Right. So, like, why can't you do that with a Thunder Rosa? Why can't you do, if that's the reason why, if you're saying it's the promo skills, you could just try to tell a story, but then pair them up with someone else who, is a better promo. Or even for me, it's Thunder Rosa's promo skills. I think it's not even that. It's like they're just not even trying to develop a story or tell a story. Like it's just they've said, hey, okay, cool, you're champion, fine. We've got this Darby story we're telling. We've got this CM Punk story we're telling. This Adam Hangman Page story we're telling. They've got their focus on the men's side. On the women's side, it's just like, hey, okay, what's the match of the week gonna be? What two women are we going to have wrestle tonight this week? Okay, cool. That's it. That's like the majority of the focus that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
There's no like, hey, storytelling. Okay, we told this story. We had this little nugget that happened last week. Now let's continue that on this week to then, build up on that story. Even the one match that they do, they don't really use that to advance stories like that either. I don't know. I just feel like storytelling is not a priority in the women's division like it is on the men's side, and even on the men's side, it's questionable at best. So this is just who they are.
What about the rebuttal of it is a network issue? Like, it's not Tony, it's the network, it's TNT or TBS. They the ones are saying, making the decision, saying they don't want all these women on. They don't want multiple women's matches. What about that?
I mean, then that's terrible on TNT and TBS. Then it shouldn't justify it. It's just another. I mean, I feel like that doesn't feel like it's the case. It feels like it's probably not true. But let's even say it is. It doesn't make it any more right that they're allowed to do that. Then we should, be saying it even with the same energy. That TNT. Why the hell don't you show women's matches? Like, why don't you think women's matches are something we would want to see? Like, that's shitty on you guys, especially in 2022 when women's empowerment and just the focus is on just showcasing women and celebrating women. Why wouldn't you want to have more representation?
Even from a business standpoint, it doesn't make sense because this is a stat right here. This is a fact right here. The women are the biggest consumers when it comes in the U.S. Like the largest consumers, the biggest consumers. Like they the ones who spend the most, who buy the most. So I don't understand why Tony doesn't, use that data to help out. Like, oh, okay, I'm missing out on these possible viewers, female viewers that I need to grow because he sticks within his wheelhouse. When it comes to his core audience, he doesn't really build out of that wheelhouse, but he could even get some more doors, more opportunities for his company, man. But I don't know, man. I'm lost.
Yeah. It just, I don't understand it, especially again, just how much women's wrestling has gained in popularity and grown over the years and years. I mean, from Trish and Lita, and then more recently with the four horsewomen of NXT, and then now just looking at the just women's wrestling in general, it's just so people just love seeing women's wrestling, and it just seems weird that they wouldn't showcase it more. Like, and if you told me like they were all rookies, they're all green, they couldn't, but even NXT 2.0, like they're all rookies, they're all green, and they show them all the time. They have whole episodes where it's all the women. Like,
I kid you not, Tiffany Stratton, she got about 6 months in the game, and I seen her gradually improve every time. She actually, and then somebody put out a tweet out there, man, she wrestles better than what's her name? Marina Shafir.
Oh yeah. Wow.
That was the service. Tony, he fucked that up. That was the service to Thunder Rosa. She shouldn't have been a match for somebody who's that limited in the ring.
Yeah. I'm just saying. When that was even advertised, I said, wow, really? So you didn't put her on TV and now your way to fix it is to give her Marina Shafir? Like, okay. Cool.
I care about women's wrestling.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
I care.
Yeah, it's we'll stay on this, because that's what we do here. We call it like we see it.
Yep.
And when they have the two matches, I'll talk about it and I'll give them the praise. It feels shitty to even celebrate 2 matches. But when it happens, I'll be there to say that. And when they only have 1 match, I'm gonna call that shit out too. And storylines too is I think another big one for me that we're not seeing the storytelling. Like Big Swole talked about this. Like she, there's so many aspects of this. Yeah, that I think about her when I think about a lot of this now. Her even saying like talking about her daughter and her daughter not seeing like just anyone that she could really relate to or care about on the AEW side, but then she watched WWE and she's seeing Bianca and she's seeing Sasha, and just being like she'd rather watch that than watch AEW. I'm just like, man, like
I remember she said something of the sort of like, hey, if you know how to do promos, that's cool, but if you don't, like she was saying you'll fall by the wayside in that company. Like if you don't speak up, like if you're not used to speaking up, or like forget about it. And I'm like,
but
it might be
specifically though on the women's side.
On the women's side, exactly. Yeah.
Jungle Boy says nothing. Like that kid says nothing, and he is being built up like he's a Shawn Michaels in the making. Like he's just gonna take over AEW one day.
Hook.
Hook. Yeah. Which, hey, I know we differ on Hook. Yeah. I love Hook. I love Hook. I love his whole thing, the whole gimmick. I'm all in.
Pouting mouth.
I love it.
Let me fight him.
But he doesn't say anything. He doesn't do nothing. He's still turning this dude into a star. Tony Khan comes on. Yeah, send Hook. After it goes over, like he loves it. He loves him. And I'm like, you can't do that for Chris Statlander? I mean, come on. What's going on? I don't get it. Thunder Rosa, your champion. Do that for her. Bring her out. Yeah, Thunder Rosa. Yeah.
He cares about women's wrestling.
Come on. I don't get it, man. And yeah, just ex-WWE women's wrestlers too. It don't matter. Just Tony Storm.
I don't get Athena. Why even people in certain Facebook groups like, oh, I hope Sasha goes to AEW. I'm like, why? Why would you say that?
Oh man, I can only imagine. Just seeing Sasha Banks on Dark, just really Sasha Banks just doing her thing on YouTube, like, huh? Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, have Sasha go to AEW so we can see that. Let's hurry that up. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Oh, man.
Don't do it, Sasha.
Oh, bro. It's too early.
Oh, my God. Because you know that's what's going to happen.
You're not wrong, bro. You are not wrong. See Sasha and Naomi over on AEW Dark. Elevation.
Don't do it. Just go to Japan. Go to Japan if you're gonna do anything. That's fine. You do your thing there. Go to Impact.
Right.
They love women's wrrestling on Impact.
Yes, Impact. So, NWA if you can. We know
NWA. There you go.
No, because they got like some partnership with AEW now.
Oh well, yeah.
Impact.
No. Yeah. Impact. Yeah. Impact would be the place to go. Definitely. Yeah. I think that would work out. But yeah, man. I mean, so we're gonna stay on this. Like I said, we're gonna stay on this. We're week in, week out. We're paying attention, and when we see it, we're gonna call it like we see it, for better or worse. That's just what we do here. So,
and if we're wrong, we're wrong. If we fix it, cool. I want him to fix it.
We want that. That's the thing. We're not here saying, it's not like I'm sitting here like, oh yeah, Tony Khan fucked up again. I can't wait to talk about that. No, it pisses me off.
Yes.
It genuinely pisses me off that we don't get to see more women's wrestling, and specifically knowing how much talent they have in that locker room now, and they're not getting showcased. Just after having a banger of a match at the pay-per-view, you have Thunder Rosa, your champion, not even mentioned. That is crazy. That's just insane. So
we did a top 12. We did a top 12 AEW women. We just listed, all the women who was just ready to go.
Yeah,
I remember having Abaddon. Where's she been at?
Mm-hmm.
Dark Elevation.
Dark,
I don't know.
Dark. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. And since then, they've added more women too. Athena wasn't there. Tony Storm wasn't there when we did this.
We could do a whole new top 12 and
Shit
wouldn't even matter.
We should. All new top 12 coming next time.
There we go.
That's
it is decided. Top 12 AEW women's.
Coming soon. Man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next topic here. I'm going to actually bring up something that you wanted to bring up. So you when we're going over our topic, you said Baron Corbin. I said, huh?
I did.
Why are we talking about Baron Corbin?
Hey,
man, so bring him up, man. Why'd you want to talk about Baron?
Because I want to officially give this man respect. I respect this man's work, his character, how he is a true heel. He gets the crowd to react, you know? Even that promo he did after he whooped Madcap ass, like he put him in the hospital and he came out like the next week and just bragged about it. Like, man, he was like, he used to be riding me. He used to be eating filet mignon and all of that. Look at him now. I was like, okay, wow, a Baron Corbin promo. Wow, who knew? Who knew? I was like, okay. And then we follow it up, Hell in a Cell. And it was a banger of a match. You know, I see the crowd. They're like, we want tables. You want, yeah.
That was perfect.
I was like, dude, you know what? I was like, I respect this man's work, man. Like he still got a phenomenal move set. You know, he has the what's that finisher? One of the finishers. End of days, but he does that windmill.
Oh yeah.
The wind, is it called the winds? Or?
No. I'll remember it. But yeah, end of days and I'll look it up. Here, keep going. I'll put it up. Now you got me.
Yeah, man. And then he was able to elevate a star too, which he did with Madcap Moss. And so I peeped that. I was like, I respect this man's work, man. I can't hate on this man. I can't say like this
Deep
dude
Six.
sucks. Deep Six, that's right. Wonderful name, by the way. And then I'm like, dude, it is decided. I respect Baron Corbin, Happy Corbin. I like the work. You know, it was a long road, but here we are, many years later. I respect Baron Corbin what he's bringing to the game, man, of wrestling. He has an old school heel mindset. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna get you to hate me, and people respond. Yeah, you get a response. You're doing your job.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this, that for me, he's not doing anything different than he's done all this time. Like, even when he went against Roman Reigns, he was feeding him dog food. Like, it was the same thing. Like, he just wanted to be, like, get as much heat as possible, do anything he can to get a reaction from the crowd. And, you know, for his credit, you know, as a heel, he's doing his job. You know, I remember that Fox show that they had for a while with WWE. He was one of the guests and they talked about that. And he's like, yeah, like I that's what I'm out there to do. That's my job, is to make the guy that I'm going against look great and get as much heat on me as possible, you know? And so he's accomplished that. I think in a similar way that you feel about Corbin, you know, and I do respect him as well. I feel that way about The Miz also, that The Miz, you know, sometimes doesn't get enough credit for the work that he does, especially as a heel, you know, in that he's able to generate heat and get people to care about him one way or another, even if it's like goofy stuff with him and Maurice and them talking about his balls and all that stuff.
Hilarious.
Like, it's just the way, like,
my husband has very average balls.
Look at
He has medium-sized balls.
He's like, keep going.
He has the biggest balls.
Right. But it's just like, being entertaining, you know, finding a way to entertain. I still don't like the zombie match. That zombie match pisses me off. The fact that The Miz got hurt for the first time in his career doing that.
Towards ACL, right?
Yeah, man. Terrible. Makes it even worse. Like, come on, man. He had never been hurt in his career. And then that happened. So, yeah, man. I mean, definitely, you know, with The Miz and with Corbin, I feel like they're just two guys that, you know, are they the most athletic or, you know, most creative when it comes to moveset or anything like that? No. But as far as doing their job, being heels, gaining heat, getting you to care, both of them are probably two of the most unappreciated wrestlers, you know, in WWE right now and in wrestling right now. So yeah, they do a great job. I totally agree with Corbin. what you're saying about Corbin. So yeah,
you made a point about you think it's like the same story between him and when they did with Roman Reigns. I would push back. I would say it got me to.
I'm not saying it's the same story, but I guess in terms of him just wanting to find a way to get heat and to get people to care, all he's doing is he's doing his job, to get you to just be like, oh, because at that time too, Roman was still not like, people didn't care about Roman, but he was trying to do whatever he could to get people to say, what? Corbin did what to him? Oh, hell no, I can't boo Roman after that. I'm going to cheer Roman against Corbin. So that's all I meant by that. Not that it was like the same.
Okay. Because I'll say the reason why I have a spotlight on Corbin, because it was that story he told between him and Madcap Moss. Like it was a personal story. He brought him in, and then when he took him out, that promo, I paid attention. He told the story of reason why he took him out. Like, bro, I brought this man in. He was eating off of me, off of my work. You know what I'm saying? I put this man on game. And they look at him. I was like, okay, I like that. I was like, this story is personal, and I'm paying attention, and that's the reason why I'm like, okay, I respect what Corbin's doing. I see it now. You know what I'm saying? It took a while, but I see what he's doing now.
Yeah. All right, that's fair. All right, let's keep moving through this now. Let's talk about Cody Rhodes, because we talked about him a little bit before, but I want to just get a little bit more spotlight on Cody Rhodes and what he had going on leading up to Hell in a Cell, and also too Seth Rollins mixed in there as well. Because first of all, that match was amazing, and the story going into it, basically, it was very personal. Seth Rollins bringing up like, hey, you and your friends over there tried to, take away everything that I had worked for. And, you're over there trying to, smashing thrones, and you're not going to do that and come here.
He was like, oh,
take over my kingdom and my
right.
throne.
You want to smash a throne over there? You want to come back and try to take my throne? I was like, bars.
Right.
Like, Cody, I say something.
Yes. So they did a great job with that. And then you hear the news of, Cody's injured. It's like, huh? And then they say they basically, I guess the story had come out, maybe it was Seth that attacked him, but then they tried to clear it up. Like, it wasn't that he got hurt by Seth attacking him. It was more so that he had I guess partially torn pec at first, but then through a workout, he completely ripped it off the bone. Yeah, and so ruptured pec, and it's like, okay, but he's still, he's gonna perform. I'm like, what the fuck? How? What? I had no idea what this was gonna look like. The visual, just knew they were saying that he had this injury. So, he comes out, okay, we're doing this match. He's doing his entrance. He takes off the jacket, and you see the whole pec, the whole side of his pec and the arm, red and purple. Like,
I was like, ooh,
what are we doing?
I'm like, no, Cody, no. That's how I felt. I was like, this is stupid. This is Sammy Guevara stupid. That's what I said, bro. This is stupid, bro.
Yeah. Same. I was watching the thing like, nah, man, like, we don't have to do this. You got nothing to prove, Cody. You go out here and you get hurt more. Like, what are we going to say? Like, we don't want that. Like, just stop. And they were going for it. And Cody was favoring the arm and like not able to move it. It was basically dead on the side of his body. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. He got Seth taking the kendo stick and poking it into the shoulder, like driving it in. What is going on? But the worst of it is when he threw him against the cage. That was one that was like, nah. And then he threw him through a table. He did the running power bomb through the table. I said, oh my God. Okay, this has to stop. Like, y'all just stop.
Just taking a bump. Even when he did a Cody cutter and he fell on the I was like, ow, bro.
Yeah. I thought maybe it would be short, like all right, we're gonna have this be like 5 minutes, and Seth's just gonna like just destroy him and we'll be done or whatever. But no, they gave us a full match. How long was it?
25 minutes.
25 minutes.
25 fucking
with
minutes.
That.
Yes.
That is ridiculous.
Respect, sir.
Respect, yes. If you didn't respect Cody before, this has to do it. or nothing else will. If you don't respect him after this, you'll never respect him. Like there's no
exactly
no way.
right. You just don't like the man at this
You
point.
just don't like him.
Right. You just admit it. You just don't like him.
Damn. Like I respected Cody. Like ever since he's shown up in WWE, it's been just an amazing. First it was surreal. Now it's just like I'm just rooting for him. I'm just rooting for the guy. Like he's just doing just great work. The storytelling, you mentioned it in AEW, it feels a little bit different than it does in WWE. Especially the lineage and the story around Dusty never winning the big one, and he's trying to do this for the family name, put some respect on my family's name. I'm going to be the one to do it. And so we can feel the journey and feel what he's fighting for. And to see, him like going against Seth, one of the best, in the world, period. I would say ultimately for wrestling, he's the best wrestler in the world for me, is Seth Rollins. And to go against him and to beat Seth Rollins, not once, not twice, but 3 times, makes a hell of a statement. I was shocked the third one too. I was like, wow, we doing this? Okay.
I had Seth going over. And then it pretty much, it was like, oh, it's decided after that with that injury.
Right. Yeah.
It makes sense now.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah. But man, they said, Cody's winning. Cody is going over. He is unstoppable now. And hey, watching that and seeing how he did, you felt it. I felt it. I felt the emotion. I felt like, wow, this is crazy. And then he raised his hand up, and I'm just clapping like, great fucking match. Thank you, Cody.
I was too, man. Yeah. I was like, I am a Cody fan. From that match, I officially became a Cody fan in that match, just from the showmanship, because I love how he took off the jacket and slowly I was like, what the fuck, bro? What is that? What is that? We're not doing this.
Dude, man.
And then some people were saying, oh, that's a work. That's just good. Really good makeup. I'm like, bro, look at the before and then after the match. That shit got even more swollen. And then you saw the internal bleeding right here in his titty, his broken titty. It was all the red shit. I'm like, oh man,
that was great. There's I forget the guy's name, but if you type in doctor reacts to Cody Rhodes injury, there's a doctor on there who usually reacts to like sports injuries and like football, NFL, NBA, and all that. Okay, and he reacted to this, and he was like, yeah, this was insane. This was insane. I would definitely not have cleared him. The question right now is who the fuck cleared Cody Rhodes to wrestle with that? Like, that's crazy. The one thing he said was it by the type of, because of the type of injury he had, he couldn't make it any worse than what it was. But the whole thing was pain threshold. Yes. How much pain is he going to be willing to withstand during this?
I can't even imagine the soreness.
Oh my God!
Just taking a simple bump, it's just
anything. How that would feel.
Maybe the slightest touch, it'd be like like I don't know. It's
insane.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Like I said, man, it was stupid. It was stupid. But to your point, you said it was already at that point. You couldn't do any more damage at that. Once it's off the bone, it's off the bone.
It's just done. You got to have surgery. You got to get that repaired. And but to his credit, he went through and withstood a lot of pain through all that to give us a great show. And they did. They gave us a classic matchup that we're gonna remember for a long time. The match where Cody Rhodes tore his back, off the bone and still wrestled a Hell in a Cell match and like did everything. He did it all. They went into the cage. They used weapons. They used a sledgehammer. They went to a table.
The motherfucker got a bull rope. He put it over the Seth.
Turned it into
come
a
on,
match.
put it on. I was like,
Cody's like, oh, okay. You want this? Okay. Fuck it then. Let's do it.
I was like, wow, we are doing this, bro. We are doing this. Man. Yeah.
Man. Yeah, it was great. It was great. It was great to see. It was crazy to see. It was scary to see, but it was very entertaining. And shout out to Cody for just being a warrior in all this, man. Like, wow.
Made man, and now the top face of wrestling. Just
yes.
Sports entertainment wrestling
I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see, like, because the Rock. This is another thing. I actually don't have this down, but the Rock has cleared his schedule, and he is free around WrestleMania time. So the Rock Roman WrestleMania Hollywood matchup is damn near official. Is damn near in ink. So that is going to happen. The question is it going to happen for the title, or do we have Cody face Roman before that, and then he beats Roman, and then Roman goes into that match with The Rock, non-title, still the main event, but it's just family pride at that point. Like, I don't know.
You got 2 nights of WrestleMania to play with it.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that's true. I could see Cody being the main event of one of the nights, and then Roman being the main event of the other night. I don't know, man. I feel like this is the way they're building up Cody and his story. It just feels like Cody will be champion at some point. It's just a matter of when, not if. It's going to happen. He's going to be either WWE champion or the Universal champion, or maybe if they still have them both together, he's the unified champion. But we'll see. But yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting to see this road to WrestleMania.
Do you see Seth in that picture anywhere?
So if I'm writing the story, okay, like if I'm writing this story, what I still want is I would love to see Seth Rollins somehow, some way become champion. Right? Maybe he wins Money in the Bank again and becomes champion, or some other way. Like, maybe he does that. And then Seth and Cody for the title, at Mania, and do that. Like Cody makes his return against the guy who took him out for the 9 months or whatever. And then it's Cody versus Seth at, revenge, and Cody beats him for the 4th time to become champion finally. Like, I can see something like that. But yeah, I feel like, yes, Seth has earned it. He's earned an opportunity to be champion again, and to be the main, attraction, from a heel perspective. He already is the main attraction from a heel perspective right now, because Roman's not there currently. So yeah, definitely Seth I could see being there. And him and Cody are not done, but I think the only way you can make that rematch is if there's something on the line. It can't just be like, hey, we're gonna continue this feud. Like, no, he beat him 3 times in a row. Why would Cody want that? Well, he would want it if he's champion. He would want it if he has something he covets. So
maybe it could be for Money in the Bank. Like,
it could be
Money in the Bank, and he's so and he still can't get over that he lost 3 times. He's willing to put Money in the Bank, or maybe Cody would egg him into putting Money in the Bank briefcase.
Oh man,
on the line.
Would be crazy. That would be crazy. Yeah. Because Cody did say before he left, he did say, like, that's something I've never won. He looked up, the Money in the Bank briefcase was up top, and he looked at it. So that was a tease, but he's not going to be there for Money in the Bank now. Maybe he ends up challenging whoever wins Money in the Bank for that briefcase. Eggs him on, like you said. So I could see that happening. I feel like Seth at some point too is going to get a win over Cody. I feel like he's going to get a W over him somehow. But I don't know. I think that would be a smart way to have Cody win his first championship at this point, would be somehow getting it from Seth versus from Roman. But I don't know how you work that. That would be more of Seth using Money in the Bank to beat Roman again, just like he did Ice of the Century. History repeating itself.
What if he did it within The Rock? They're having this main event, and he comes in again.
That would be insane.
Change the game, right? And it works. All those L's build up to that one fucking moment.
Yeah, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. And that's a good point too. Like, this is going to build up to something big for Seth. With him taking all of these L's, he could take the L because of Seth, and he just doesn't lose any momentum, even though he's losing. But it's got to be building to something. And I feel like that is one possible one that would make a lot of sense. That for me as a fan of his would be acceptable if, okay, he took all these L's, but come the big moment, here he is. He cashes in and he's victorious. He beats him. Oh man, like I would be so happy. I'd be so happy to see that happen.
It would be wild. I would be shocked. I was like, wow, he was right. He is the one that would beat Roman for the title.
He's the one guy that has his number.
Claimed
the one guy.
Right, he said that. It's like,
Roman
I am destined. And it's in my destiny.
Facts. Oh man. So yeah, we'll see. That's another one that's just is fun to see, fun to watch it build up. Cody won't be around for a while. He's got 9 months of recovery, which I feel like we might be in store for a John Cena kind of return where he beats that recovery time and he's back a little bit faster.
Might see him in 6.
Yeah. Fingers crossed that he is able to recover as soon as possible and really recover. Like, don't just come back early just because. Yeah. Like, literally get to 100%, Cody. Wish you well. But yeah, man, that return is going to be awesome. I can't wait. It's going to be great. But to keep it going, so Judgment Day, the Judgment Day. Let me get it right.
There you go. I was about to correct you. You said it. You said it. You caught yourself, sir. I was like, no, sir. The Judgment Day. Get that "the" in there.
So, the Judgment Day was a unique stable in that, I feel like they just kind of got going. They had this match at Hell in a Cell. This
was banging.
Mixed six-man tag. Great match. A lot of fun. They were victorious. Edge pinned Finn Balor. Mm-hmm. So that's also interesting in all this. With help from Rhea Ripley, getting in the middle and stopping Finn Balor from doing the stomp, and then pushing him off the top at 1.2. Like, so it was interesting, but Edge got the pinfall. All right. So, and yeah, this group, they just kind of started getting going, like they were teasing a new member. They had the countdown clock going. It's like, okay, who's it going to be? Now, we weren't able to do the show, but one thing I was thinking on the way to this fourth member, I did think there was a strong chance it was going to be Finn Balor that was going to join the team. And the reason why I say that is because the Finn Balor AJ Styles team up didn't end up being what it should have been. Yeah. I think that just the timing, like people just didn't care as much as they did back when they had that match initially when Bray Wyatt
got sick.
Show up, he got sick.
Yeah.
And then AJ Styles filled in and it ended up being the Demon versus AJ Styles. That crowd went nuts for that. And when they two-sweeted at the end, like, oh my God, if you would have done it then, yeah, the crowd would have been hyped. But now it's like, we don't really care as much as we did then. And Finn Balor's not really being booked that well. He was United States champion and it was like it didn't even happen. No. So, it was just what it was, right? Like, it's just weak. It was weak. And then they came together and then Alexa Bliss joins them, which was fun too. That was cool. Yeah. But it just wasn't really working. So I thought,
Liv Morgan. You said Alexa Bliss, right?
Oh, so yeah, I said Alexa Bliss. My bad. Liv Morgan. Just short blonde. Yeah. My bad, Liv. But Liv Morgan, joined up with them, did the Too Sweet. That was cool. I like that. And they just didn't really feel like an actual faction. It was just like, all right, we're coming together because we all have issues with the people of Judgment Day. So the Judgment Day. So it's like, okay, they're doing their thing, but I don't know. It just felt like I could see Finn turning heel and, going against AJ Styles eventually. Mm-hmm. There was just something there. So after Hell in a Cell, countdown clock is over. All right, the new member, and Finn Balor comes out. And I was like, well, I saw that coming. Okay, cool. I mean, it's still weird because they just had this match. Yeah. But
I was still on the fence. I'm like, this is a swerve. Is AJ and Liv under the ring waiting to just, like, I'm thinking this is a swerve.
This isn't over.
Right.
Exactly, yeah. So, he's talking. He's like, yeah, I realize, that, I'm whatever, not living into my potential, or he was saying a bunch of stuff, and I wasn't really tracking that. I was tracking like, this feels weird. Like something about this just feels off. I'm like, what's going on? And then Damian Priest starts talking and talking about dead weight. you know, that there's dead weight on the group, and we realize that dead weight is you. And they looked at Edge, and I'm like, wait, what? Dead his ass, just stomping the shit out of Edge. I was like, what the hell is going on here? What is this? Like, okay,
I woke the fuck up at that point. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, what am I saying right now?
What is going on?
The fuck? So, you know, they beat the hell out of Edge, and Edge is out. Edge is out the group. Finn Balor took his place. He didn't just join them. They kicked the leader of the Judgment Day, the guy who recruited the two of them, the guy that beat Finn Balor. they kicked him out and took Finn. So here's, I guess I'm curious. What are your thoughts on the new the Judgment Day?
There we go.
The Judgment Day.
I love it because it immediately shines a spotlight, a mega spotlight on Finn Balor, what he, you know, sorely needs, man. And I was caught off by this. I love the swerve because I didn't expect it. I expected a different type of swerve. I was like, because Finn, when he came out, he still had like this big cheese ass smile, man, just smiling.
And he's still doing the
yeah. I'm like you, man. Like, this feels weird. I'm like, man, AJ and Liv, they gotta be under the ring. They about to get the drop on them or something. Like, just Finn, and then, you know, Priest got on the mic and it's like, man, you get it. Like, you taught us how to get rid of these our dead weight. We need to get some more rid of dead weight. And looked at him and it's like, the fuck you talking about?
Wait, what?
That's what I'm talking about, bro. He's about to eat these hands and feet right now, bro. Stumping the shit out of him. Man, Rhea Ripley stumping the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. And then Damian Priest gave that man a concerto. I was like, bro.
Right.
Whoa. Whoa. I'm like, Finn? He's doing all of this, and I'm like, yeah, suck my dick. And I'm like, whoa, bro. Whoa, bro. I'm like, you got the juice, man. I like this. This is we saw what a heel Finn Balor is in NXT. You know? He got the call up. Right. Back, and then we got the call up back to the main roster. We're like, he's gonna come back as the Prince, he's gonna come back that new Finn Balor. It looked like we didn't know.
It looked like they were about to, you know, and then
and then there was like,
Blue Balor.
This little
went right back to Blue Balor.
Right. Here's this championship. Here you go. You know, yoink. You know, give it to Austin Theory. You're done.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Jesus. But I love the move because it's a strong move, and hopefully this leads to a SummerSlam match between Finn Balor and Edge, because I'm down for that. You know, because, man, Finn Balor, he is a motherfucker, man. I just took your group, bro. I took it. Me and Rhea and Damon, we had a sidebar conversation. You need to listen to the words I'm saying in this promo. We had a conversation.
Because
I would have been like, hold on, what you talking about? We. I would have been like, hold on, hit the pause button, bro. I'm the leader. You should have been talking to me. Damian Priest didn't let me know. Hold on, what? It did. Oh, man, he got all the hands and feet and just stumped that man like a pancake, bro. He was done.
Oh, man. Yeah, this was interesting. So, at first, this is a mixed bag for me. There's two sides of this. There's the logic of the turn, and then there's just
just say that.
Finn Balor.
The logic does not make shit.
I was gonna say, because with they just had this match the night before, and the Judgment Day won. Like, they won the match. There's no problems. They were
like a team. I'm like,
a well-oiled machine. Yeah, yes. They worked together really well. So
good work, Edge.
Oh, yeah. Edge got the pin, got the victory, pinned Finn Balor. So then you're trying to tell me, after that happened, Finn Balor got on the phone, called up Damian Priest and Rhea, said, hey, yo, you know, after this match, I want to have words. I want to have a conversation with y'all. Okay, cool. And then they were like, yeah, sure, Finn Balor, we're gonna have a conversation with you after we just whoop your ass. Okay, fine. All right, cool. So then they meet up, and then Finn Balor's like, yeah, like you guys are good, and I'm sick of the bullshit I'm going through. So, why don't we join up? And then by the way, while we're joining up, Edge, that man, he's dead weight. You guys should kick him out and bring me on. And then they said, yeah, you right, Finn, you right. Like Edge is dead weight.
You are right, Finn. We'll do it.
And again, Finn took the pin. Finn is the one that lost. So you're trying to tell me that these two said, yeah, the guy we just beat, he's right. And the guy that got the dub, he's wrong.
Yeah, you're our leader. You're our leader.
You're our leader. We want you to lead us. I'm like, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
So I got to get that out the way because it bothered the hell out of me watching this whole thing. I'm like, why the fuck did they side with Finn? He took the L. Now you want him to be your leader? That's weird. But damn all that, because what this means is we do get a heel Finn Balor on WWE TV on the main roster. Finally. So we get to see arguably the best version of Finn Balor. One that in New Japan, you got to see if you watch the Bullet Club. In NXT, we got to see when he came back, when he was, sent down to NXT, and he became the Prince, and he like, damn all this, I'm taking everybody out, Johnny Gargano, like just
another low-key swerve. You didn't see that? It's like, yeah, I got your back. Motherfucker, bicycle kick, bow. I was like, whoa.
Dude, hell of a turn. Didn't see it coming, and it was great. And just the energy that Finn has as a heel, to see that on Raw is going to be very interesting. It makes me want to tune into Raw and check it out and see how they treat this. I am hoping that they embrace it, that they let Finn go with his whole, like, I don't give a fuck attitude that he typically has when he's a heel. And you got Rhea and you got Damian Priest following that up. Like, that has the potential to be something special. So, yeah, logic aside, because it still doesn't make any sense to me. But the potential of what this means for Finn Balor to finally have something to sink his teeth into on the main roster from a story perspective, and to be able to embrace that heel side of his character. I can't wait. So it's worth it to me to do whatever you have to get to this point.
To build that man back up. Yes. I'm like, okay, the logic is in the shitter.
It's shit. Right. And do we get heel Finn versus face AJ? Like that too, because
that's
Edge
what I'm saying. Yep. I'm like,
Edge is out. Like, he just took the concerto. Like, he's done. But AJ is gonna be like, so what the hell is all this? Like,
you want to tell me about this?
Yeah, you want to talk about this? Like, what? You talk to them. You had the sidebar with them. You never sidebar with me. What's going on? Like, so yeah, man, the whole too sweet thing, and then having it has potential. It has potential. I just hope they see it that way too, and it just doesn't become some bullshit, in a matter of 2 or 3 weeks. We'll see. But right now, I feel good about it. I love what this means for Finn.
Yes.
Yeah, enjoy the moment. Exactly. Enjoy the moment. And for Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley too, like, to be in the mix with all of that, I feel like there's potential. And for Rhea Ripley, she's the number one contender. She's going against Bianca.
Money in the Bank.
That Money in the Bank.
They got their history too.
Dude, oh man, this is a matchup. I am hyped for this. I am hyped for this match. So yes, let's do it. Let's do it. So yeah, man, great things going on for the Judgment Day, the Judgment Day.
Yes, the Judgment Day.
Oh man, so we're getting to the last couple topics here. So this one we're going to talk about. I think I got this right. The Mid-Atlantic Championship for AEW. New championship, new mid-tier championship, I guess, that they're trying to do is an international championship. Yes. Basically, there's going to be a tournament.
Their 16th or 17th title. If you're counting Ring of Honor, which
I was going to say, if you count Ring of Honor, yeah. So
whatever that means nowadays.
This is yet another championship on this show I don't know, man. There's a lot of championships that AEW has. They got the Owen Hart championship, the championships as well.
I thought those were trophies,
Adam,
so they're titles.
I mean, Adam Cole is carrying this thing around with him everywhere he goes. So I'm counting it.
Well, it is decided.
Hey, at least that's, well, I guess the FTW championship, they're starting to do more matches around that too, but I still feel like that's really not official. This is more official than that, so I'm counting it. But ROH, they have the ROH championships being defended and shown, and the champions are there. There's a lot of championships, and they still haven't done the 6-man tag championship
trios.
belts the trios championship belts
supposedly supposed to be on the way.
Yeah. So this is just a lot, man. It's a lot. I like the idea of more people having an opportunity to have that spotlight on them, but I feel like for AEW, it's just going to feel like, okay, this is just another championship.
Doesn't matter.
It's not going to mean anything. And the TNT championship is already kind of losing a lot of its prestige.
My God.
So now you just add another championship to confuse things even more. Is this necessary?
Yes. In Tony's eyes. Yes. Very necessary.
Yeah. It just kind of, when they unveiled it, I was like, really? And I feel like, I'm curious if most people feel that way too, but that was my thing. I was like, another one?
I thought I said that another one, and I was like, okay, it's a nice looking title because I got like an NWA feel from it. I'm like, all right, I like the way it looks, but the Atlantic, the Mid-Atlantic,
I think it's Mid-Atlantic
whatever the
Championship.
fuck it's called. It don't matter. It don't matter. Whoever carries it, maybe Miro, he can make it something. If he wins,
Miro can make it. Yes.
Yeah.
That dude.
Anybody else, it don't matter. It don't matter if even Pac win it. I don't think they'll do anything with him. It have to be Miro to make that title something. All them goddamn titles don't mean a goddamn thing. But I'll say this. All right. Is the title needed? In my opinion, no. Focus on. It feels like he's trying to.
It's called the All
Atlantic. Okay, the ACC. Okay, college
or AAC.
The AAC. Okay, I got you. The All Atlantic.
Mid-Atlantic is actually an NWA championship.
You're all right. Yes, you are right. The Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't care for it though. It focus on stories. Focus on the stories. All right. I like you got a lot of.
There's a theme here. There's a theme with AEW.
Stories. Yeah.
We just want them to focus on stories.
Yes.
Damn it.
There's a lot of champions in your arsenal that you're not even using. That I don't even see. Who's their Ring of Honor champion on the women's side?
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Mercedes Martinez.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
The only Ring of Honor title that seems like it matters is on FTR because the way they're telling stories, the way they've been televised, those titles are up there. I put them on the level as the AEW tag team titles. All right,
need a different show. It's just too much having ROH on there.
They got a big ass roster, bro.
It's too much. It's just too much. It's too much.
We're different. We're the alternative. We're different. Remember,
we're oversaturated is just too much. Just stop it.
Did they not want to learn from WWE? Dude, you saw what happened when they was oversaturated.
Mm-hmm.
You saw it now. Now it's like,
you know what's so funny about this? Now that you mentioned, before I forget this, so I guess it was a couple years ago. There was an interview with Tony with one of those guys who does a lot of these interviews. I forget his name. I think it's Chris something. But anyway, Tony Khan, they asked him about WCW and the fall of WCW and like what led to that. And Tony Khan said one of the things that led to that was that they just had signed everybody. and there's only so many people, and you can't. And what he was saying too was funny. He said like, you know, you're not gonna be able to sign all those people to like a certain amount of money, like type of deals, because you're gonna run out of money. You're not gonna be able to make enough money to be able to support all of those guys under that same contract, and you can't, you know, underpay this guy, don't pay this guy. So it was just a problem, and they had so many wrestlers, and just that was what he was attributing to the problems that WCW had. And I'm listening to him, and I'm like, okay, 3 years ago, him saying this, I'd be like, oh, yeah, he's got a point. Yeah, you're right, Tony. Okay, this is astute. This guy's not going to do the same thing. He's not going to make the same mistake. They're going to be different. They're going to be different WCW. They're not going to just sign everybody under the sun and do what WCW did and forget about the homegrown talent. They're not going to forget about those guys and start signing ex-WWE guys and forgetting about the guys that got them there. No. 3 years later, and we're talking about ROH. We got all these ex-WWE guys. You got New Japan guys showing up. Will Ospreay is here now. Like, what the fuck? Literally every wrestler.
Jay Lethal.
He's there, but is he like? I don't even know. It's crazy. I have to send you that video, man. I saw.
Dude, I want that was probably before the cocaine, and now after the cocaine, it's a different story. Cocaine Tony's a different man.
Dude, it was crazy. He's just going on and on and on about all the problems with signing everybody under the sun. And I said, when was this video? This better not be now. This shit is now. We got a problem.
That would just make it worse, bro.
Like, are you just talking about AEW right now, Tony? Like, what are you doing? Oh, man.
I remember seeing a press conference right after, what is it, Double or Nothing. He's sitting next to CM Punk, and a guy asked him about the statement Eric Bishop said. He said, CM Punk has been a financial flop. So how Tony responded, he was like, oh, really? And he just went down the stats. Yeah. And then he's been drawing at every pay-per-view. And then he won the Friday Night Wars. I'm like, what? Hold on, bro. What? Friday night what?
Oh, dude.
Wait a minute, bro. What are you talking about? You talking about the half an hour you guys went head to head, the 30 minutes?
Dude,
you guys
dude, right.
The Friday Night Wars.
Dude.
I don't know, man.
I actually found the clip I'm talking about. It's literally 40 seconds. Do you want me to just play this?
Just play it. Let's play it. Let's play it for the listeners. Let's play it for the views.
You asked me earlier about WCW. If you look at problems that led to possibly what the demise of WCW was, I think one of the major issues was that they had a very large roster with a lot of people making a lot of money, and a lot of those people were really good. If you were just to like try to chop down the WCW roster, you'd be making some like really tough decisions and say like, because there were so many people across the board that were really good, you can't pay every talented person in the business $100,000. Your company will go under quick because you won't have enough revenue to offset what you're paying out. So you have to make smart decisions, and you can't hire every person you like, and you can't hire every person that you think is good, because there's a lot of really good talent.
Real.
You can't everyone that you like.
You just can't pay everyone. Really, my guy?
You won't be able to last. I said, oh no. That didn't age well.
No, it did not, bro. No, it did not. Oh my God.
Yeah. I heard that. I said, I can't believe this. What? I was like, is he talking about he's talking about AEW right now without knowing it. Like that entire thing was a look into the future of AEW. The part that really got me is you can't hire everyone you like.
I'm like, really?
This man,
Keith Lee, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, pretty much all of Undisputed. And then you calling them all, what is it, All Elite? It's similar name now.
Oh, yeah, the Undisputed Elite.
Undisputed Elite.
Yeah, he's got them all. believe me, Roddy Strong gets out of that contract. Oh, he will be there.
Oh, he will.
He will be there.
Hopping right over. He's hopping right over.
Oh man,
getting paid too. Getting paid.
Dude, it's hilarious. Like they just have so many people, you know, and it just doesn't seem like they have a real direction for most of them. You know, most of them, it's just like they're there, they show up. Oh, it's great. Hey, look at this new person we signed. Yay. And then they're gone. Like Jay Lethal, that one I thought, oh, he's going to be a major part of them because of the heights that Jay Lethal has.
What was it? Was it Full Gear?
I think it was Full Gear.
Yeah, we did that watching. I remember marking out. I was like, oh shit, Jay Lethal. And
yeah.
I don't know.
He's just such a great, just overall, like, you know, his wrestling, his performances. I mean, him as Macho Man and, you know, Ric Flair, you know, like,
battle.
Oh my God. Like, he's just so talented. And to think that, yeah, he's not being utilized and he's barely on television and he's more of a mouthpiece for this other guy, the Singh, what is his name? The giant. Really? Jay Lethal is doing that? I can't even be mad about LA Knight / what is his name?
Max Dupree.
Like, I can't even be mad when you're doing Jay Lethal like this and like, no, I'm sorry. It's the same shit. You can't tell me nothing. Oh man. And look, Max Dupree, whatever he's gonna go by, he's talented, and I feel like eventually he's gonna be okay. He's gonna find a way. He's just too talented to only be utilized as a manager. I think he's
already making that Max Dupree work. It's like, it's catchy. He says, no. Max Dupree. I'm like, okay, that's catchy. The audience will catch on.
Right.
They will. They'll start copying that. Yeah.
Right. I think he's gonna be just fine. I think he'll be just fine. But Jay Lethal, I don't know, man. Like, it just feels disrespectful because of everything that he's accomplished in wrestling, and you're not using him. He's just there. Like,
and they're gonna keep on signing more talent.
It's never gonna stop.
Come on in. Come on. You come in here. Come on. Doors open. Like, you know what? And I get it. I understand it. Why they need to have a lot. Why he's just loading up that roster, because AEW, they wrestle more of a hardcore style, and I see a lot of injuries compared to WWE. So it makes sense that, you know, like right now you got the injury bug that just
Adam
hit
Cole.
AEW.
Yep.
Adam Cole, you know, CM Punk.
Yeah.
Who else is out too?
Is Scorpio Sky hurt?
Scorpio, he's out as well. Yup. Dealing with some type of knee issue or leg issue or something like that. So
Miro was gone for a while. I'm sure there was an injury in there too.
Yeah. Oh, I think he was. No, they said he was out filming. He's, you know, Hollywood.
He was okay.
Yep.
Okay, well that's
he
good.
was good. He was doing his Hollywood thing out there, part of a new CSI show or something like that.
But to your point, I mean, yeah, the style of wrestling, like, look at Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin.
Oh my God,
great match. But good Lord, I don't need all that. I'm sorry, I don't need it. I don't need you to go off that ladder onto a bed of chairs.
And he's hurt.
Unnecessary.
But yet, what did Christian say? He was like, we're going to have a ladder match. I'm like, what?
Stop. Just stop. Let's try to kill this man. He found a way to get us to care without doing all that bullshit. You can figure it out too, damn it. Just stop.
Dude. It's wild over there, bro. I'm like, man. Jeff, okay, you're happy, man, but dude, just
how long are you gonna last? Like, you can't keep doing it. If you're gonna save that for, like, you know, a big moment, you know, like a once in a year, like they did that WrestleMania TLC match. Okay, cool. You did it that one time. Then I would say 6 months later, maybe you do another match like that. These dudes are doing this every other week. Like every other week, they're doing crazy shit after. I'm like, okay. As a fan, like, I just care about them. And it hurts me to see them take that risk. We're talking about Cody, you know, with the torn pec. Like, dude, you don't have to do this. It's okay. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, we care about their well-being. So to your point, though, having that big wrestler, or a big roster of wrestlers, the thing that it makes me think of is, okay, you can give people more rest. You know, like, let's say, all right, you get, you know, this one wrestler, you know, Darby Allin. right? He has a crazy match like that. Okay, cool. You don't want to feature him the next week. Give him some time to rest. Maybe give him 2 weeks off. So the next 2 weeks, maybe his video packages, and then you have Miro and Jungle Boy and some of these other guys showing up and having matches. House of Black has their crazy 6-man tag match insanity go on instead. And then when they're done, they get their 2 or 3 weeks off. That. If you're gonna do this type of style, I guess I can understand why. Okay, you have a big roster, that way you can give people rest to recuperate, from putting their bodies on the line like that. Sammy Guevara, though, doesn't give a fuck. Him too, every week. Like
him and Scorpio, that when he did that fucking corkscrew or whatever, flip and then Scorpio didn't catch him, he just fell. I'm like, dude, that was a totally unnecessary move.
Unnecessary. I mean, and I don't know, maybe maybe we're showing our age a little bit, and
are we old? Are we? I'm only a young 37. I'm a young 37. You know what I'm saying? But I just, like you said, I care about people. I care about humans.
Yeah.
All right, humans. All right, I want you to be okay.
Yeah.
Like,
do I want to see crazy shit happen in matches? To an extent, yes, but some of it's unnecessary. It's like I'm good enough with just seeing you do a normal, corkscrew moonsault in the ring, let alone outside of the ring through a table onto the floor with no one catching
with some chairs.
With some chairs. I'll tell you, that Darby Allin spot, I've seen it in slow motion. I've seen it in Instagram posts and people in live there. It doesn't make any sense to me. It just does not. Jeff Hardy tries to catch him sort of, and he doesn't. No. He
even hurt himself on that too.
Yeah, they on chairs, guys, unnecessary. Dial it back. That's enough.
Oh man, they the Farm Factory over there, man. Injury, what? Nah, man, we got plenty of people. Slaughterhouse over here.
Slaughterhouse.
AEW Slaughterhouse.
Oh no, that's the next show. The next YouTube show. It's gonna be AEW Slaughterhouse. That'll be the next one. All chairs, all ladders, all tables, death matches.
No regular ring with barbed wire.
AEW Slaughterhouse.
Oh man, bro. It's today. Now I think about it's today's ECW. That's what it is.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, in ECW, look, I've got a lot of love for ECW. I really do. But it's just sometimes, and again, it's I'm getting a little bit older too, and I'm just I just think about the well-being of the people that are doing the moves. I'm like, y'all, you can entertain me without, doing this over and over and over again. If you want to do it because you think, hey, the story needs it, the match needs it, cool.
Yeah.
But now we're talking about there's no story for these matches for the build-up, and then they're still doing this anyway. There's no way to go from here from a story standpoint. You already blew your load with the freaking, doing the crazy move where there was no story. So where do we go from here? It's just
another ladder match.
Yeah, it's like if you have the story between Cody and Seth get to a point where, hey, all right, I hate you, you're talking about my family, you're talking about my father, you're talking about all this shit. No. Fuck you, Hell in a Cell, let's go. Okay, it makes sense.
Hell in a Cell.
Right. And you want to do some crazy shit, go to the top, throw each other off of the cell. I can understand you using that for that purpose. But you've got Darby and Jeff, who it's hey, they don't even dislike each other. It's just we're both crazy. That's the whole thing. We're both insane. We like to put our bodies on the line. Let's go out there and have fun and be stupid.
And their promo was very simplistic. It was very short. I think Darby Allin said it's going to be a special night. And then you go and the camera cuts to Jeff. It's going to be a special night. And that was it. I was like, what the fuck are we doing?
What?
Okay, I guess it's going to be a special night.
Right. But still, I guess I'm just hung up on the idea that, okay, so you did this to Jeff, who, I mean, you respect him, you're cool with him. So what do you do to your enemy? What if you can do that to him? What do you do to someone you don't like? Where, how far, how much further can you take it? You know, like that was
put him in caskets. That's what he does.
He brings out the cat. Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like it's, if you even look at this from a story perspective, like, okay, we want to use this to try to help enhance a story. You've already gone and done this, and there wasn't any
yeah. There's no build
emotional payoff there. It was just like a crazy move, and you hurt yourself for nothing. You know, like it's just a one-off match. This wasn't even like for a championship. It wasn't like, okay, whoever wins this is going to be the new All-Atlantic champion. This was just like one round of to get into the Owen Hart tournament. I think it was like one of the play-in rounds or whatever for that. And okay, Jeff won, and then he lost immediately after that.
Yeah. Like, this is just for a tournament. It's not even for the title or for the trophy.
Not even for a title. That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's unnecessary.
Let's give me a regular, it mean something.
Right. Just give me a regular wrestling match, man. That's
it. That's it. That's all this needed to be. Just you two guys go out there and wrestle. That's it. It's just a round going like to qualify for this tournament. That's it. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Save that shit for when it counts.
Nah, bro. It's only like to blow his loads. He was like,
yeah. He's just like
premature this shit.
Yeah. That's it. He's just so excited. Calm down. Take your time.
Wait until Forbidden Door.
Exactly. Oh, shit. You can only imagine. Oh, my God. Yeah, man. Uh-oh. I got YouTube going. YouTube's like, yeah. All right. Final topic we got here. Actually, I missed one. Let me talk real quick about Paige. So Paige officially is not going to be a part of WWE anymore. She thanked the fans. She thanked WWE, for the opportunities that they gave her, throughout her career. And just she also didn't close the door on potentially coming back to wrestling. It just won't be in WWE. So, I guess this is just to mention Paige real quick and say, congrats on a great career in WWE. It's unfortunate how it was cut short, and wish her all the best, in her, whatever her plans are going forward. I do want to see her in the ring again. I want her to be healthy, but I do, miss seeing Paige, and I think she was definitely a tremendous talent. So, it's real unfortunate that it couldn't be in WWE, but it is what it is. They're going their separate ways. And yeah, best to her in the next thing she does. Again, hopefully it's someplace like Impact, honestly, where, women's wrestling is a lot more featured. I think she could definitely do great things over there. Yeah. But I just wish her the best.
Same here, man. It sucks that she couldn't stay with WWE, but I understand, go your separate way, see what's out there. But somebody said never say never, so you never know.
Yeah, exactly.
Might come back, CM Punk might come back.
Yeah.
That would be the day, though.
Oh, man. Oh, shit. CM Punk at WWE? Holy shit. I don't think the world will be prepared for that. I don't think the world will be prepared for that. But never say never. I think if we were to see CM Punk again in WWE, it would be Hall of Fame. I think it would be to retire him and put him in the Hall of Fame. And I think that I would almost guarantee that I think they're going to at least make the attempt to put him in the Hall of Fame when that time comes. It's a ways away. It is. But I could see that. If Bruno Sammartino and WWE could come together and figure that out, I think CM Punk, I think there's a chance that they'll at least make that attempt.
They mended a few broken relationships. You got Bret Hart.
Bret Hart, yeah. And Bret Hart, Bret Hart knocked Vince. Punched him in the face. Yeah. So
I didn't
So,
clean
yeah,
the
man.
fuck out, bro.
Right.
About to knock you out your shoes right now, man. You gonna do me like that in my home country? Shit.
Right. So the final topic officially here is about WWE being able to make stars. So, and we won't go too in depth with this. I feel like this could probably be its own podcast.
It could,
but just
own episode.
Yeah, exactly. But this is something that we briefly had talked about, and just I wanted you to I guess kind of share your perspective on whether or not you believe that WWE is making stars or is good at making stars currently.
That is a wonderful question. So if you would have asked me that maybe a year ago, I would confidently say no. And then I know we're on record too, saying like, yeah, WWE doesn't know how to make stars. But as I'm paying attention, see what they're doing with Riddle, seeing what they're doing with Austin Theory, even with Gunther, I'm like, man, they're kind of making me eat my own words right now, because they are making them feel like stars. I use Gunther for an example. Paired him up with Marcel Bartel, and they have like this dynamic presentation. He comes out, he tells you, get up, ladies and gentlemen, show your honor and respect for the ring general. He put that little general.
I can't even do it.
Right. That's him, man.
Yeah.
And I feel that's sort of engaging with the crowd, and I can see the crowd catching on and repeating some of that.
I was trying to remember what was
Ludwig Kaiser. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's such a great package, and kind of proving me wrong, not proving me wrong, but kind of proving other people wrong about sometimes name changes doesn't matter, man. He's still the ring general. That's still his monarch. He was the ring general before.
I still call him Walter. I can't even lie. There's a lot of times I'll still call him
Gunther. He's Gunther now in my eyes.
Walter.
Nah, he even put an Instagram page. He put an Instagram post. He's like, yeah, get over it. It's Gunther. I was like, yeah. It's yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Never.
And he's getting presented as a big star more than some of these ex WWE guys that hopped over and still trying to be presented as a star. What's going on with Andrade? Let me know.
Oh shit!
Huh? What's going on with him? Is it working out? Is the grass greener on the other side, sir? Is it? I'm just saying. And then I use another example, Riddle. Look, they paired him up with the legend for Randy Orton, and Randy Orton, he even said, I'm not really a tag team guy. He got him to, and Randy's now saying this is the most fun he ever had in his wrestling career, being paired up with Riddle. They go on this wonderful tag team run, being part of a main story of getting these titles undisputed, or getting them being unified with the SmackDown titles, being part of that. Now he's going to be facing the Tribal Chief on Friday. We will hear your music again, sir. You will whoop ass. You will put that man in his place.
I'm tuning in.
Yeah. He's going. Sami Zayn, bro. Watch yourself.
Yeah.
Watch yourself.
Nice.
Yeah, man, because just pray for that man. But Riddle, he's been doing great work. Now on the women's side, Bianca Belair. She's just not she is a superstar. She is the face of the women's division. You saw how they built her. They took away. They made this story of 26 seconds to make you even care more. They give you even more invested in her character. Now she's even having a better run on her second run with the title on the Raw women's side now. So I just say they're building stars, man. They are. They're doing it. They're proving me wrong right now.
Yeah, I mean, you make a great point. You make a great case overall for their ability to make stars, and to, the names you bring up, Riddle, Gunther, You didn't bring up Madcap Moss, you know,
Oh
who's
yeah,
someone
Madcap.
that they're building up right
Madcap
now.
Moss. Yep.
You know, so I can see where you're coming from as far as trying to give them props for the guys that you know, they are building up right now. I guess the apprehension I have is for every you know, Riddle, there's Tommaso Ciampa. You know, for every Gunther, there's you know, Karrion Kross, there's Ricochet. You know, like it's tough.
Different about Ricochet.
It's tough. Yeah, I mean, with Ricochet, you know, he's just I don't understand. I feel
they
like
gave him
there's
the IC belt, but they gave him wins. They gave him TV title defenses wins on TV, not premium live events. I can admit that they should have did that.
But as far as a star, as far as like making him a star, like, you know, they've never really. So in the beginning with Ricochet, it felt like they were trying. You know, they had him against AJ Styles, and you know, there was a nice little feud there, and the wrestling matches were great. But you know, they didn't go anywhere with it from a story perspective, and so it just lost steam, and he lost steam, and he just kind of disappeared, and he was on main event, and he was trying to make some things happen with Ali, and you know, I think their Instagram, Twitter feud was better than anything that they were showing on television, to be honest. You know, and that's another one too in Ali, where I think they're trying again. You know, they're attempting to give him more TV time, and he had a match at Hell in a Cell, and I don't know. I feel like that might be the end of it again. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but, I didn't even mention Austin Theory. Yeah, but
yeah, like it's tough, man. I feel like there are what's good about this is that some of them, Cody's on my TV within that match with Seth right now, Hell in a Cell, and I'm just looking
off the
at
jacket. What do you do?
Well, Seth is poking the kendo stick into his chest right now, and it's just painful. It's just bothering me. I just saw that.
Forget I asked, man. I don't
Dude, but like, you know, there are cases of them building certain people up, you know, and Riddle probably is the best case in my opinion. Riddle and Bianca, you know, on the men's side, Riddle for sure. You can tell Vince really sees something in Riddle, and he's pushing them, and it's been awesome. It's been a masterclass as far as what he's doing with Riddle, and Bianca as well. You know, 2 straight WrestleMania wins for the championship. It's just great. It's great the way they're doing.
Say Cody with her too, because he was mid in AEW, and they took that mid card Homelander Cody and made him a fucking top star.
Yeah, I mean that is one too that I'm sure a lot of people are gonna. That's gonna be a bitter pill for a lot of AEW fans to swallow. To say that WWE is doing a better job with Cody than AEW did. Which sounds blasphemous even coming out of my mouth right now.
I took your shit and I made it better.
Yeah,
on my platform, I didn't do nothing. I took your shit. I took the song. I took the logo and I put it on my platform. And look at what I did with it.
Oh man, and again, that's another one too that could probably be its own, you know, episode. You know, just the Cody on AEW versus Cody on WWE comparison, and like where he did better. Because for me, yes, I think this version of Cody, it's just better. You know, it's just better than what he was on AEW. But I'm going to give more credit to Cody than to WWE for that, because Cody, I think it's his music. You know, it's his stuff. It's the look is his. It's the same look that he was.
The promos is still like
promos. It's him. You know, and the people he's working with. I will give Cody the credit as far as, you know, being able to excel the way he is right now on this stage. He probably just needed a fresh start. You know, it was getting weird on AEW, and the crowd turned on him, and he was trying, love me, like that whole thing. He was trying.
You gotta remember, it's a different crowd. It's more adults. You know, in WWE, it's more families. So that type of character, persona, superhero, kids love that. They go tell their mom, I want this, and you know, I want to go to the WWE show. Yeah, on the AEW, it's just, you know, it's just grown men.
Yeah, but true. But even to that point, though, look at John Cena and how, like, you know, John Cena tried, you know, a version of this, and the kids were with him.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
The adults, You know, so and they haven't turned on Cody yet.
Yeah. As long as he don't bring out that broom, the same broom John Cena had, I'm gonna bury the whole fucking Nexus. Getting on me? No. Wade Barrett, done.
We'll see.
Oh, Miss Dow, you gonna cash in on me?
Oh,
done.
Yeah. That still pisses me off. I still think about that. Like really. That
as long as they
dude
stay away from that
been-
shit, Cody would be cool, man.
Dude. But yeah, man, I feel like, okay, so again, with WWE, can they make stars? Yes. And I think I've said that before. Like, I feel like they can. It's just a matter of, like, they pick and choose who they want to focus on to make a star like that. Yeah. You know, that's really the case of it. Like, right? I mean, why couldn't Tommaso Ciampa be pushed better than he is now? He's just kind of randomly showing up and jumping.
Sneak attack.
Yeah,
I like Butch, though. I tell you that. I like what they're doing with Butch.
Yeah, I mean that's one too is interesting. The jury is out for me on what they're doing with this, but I think Pete Dunne is doing a great job with what he's being given. He's rolling with it. You know, same with Max Dupree. It's the same thing. Like he's taking what they're giving him and he's trying to make the best. He's taking the eggs and he's making an omelet. You know, he's just finding a way.
Yeah.
So, kudos to them for that, and fingers crossed that WWE sees like, hey, this guy is willing to play ball, and let's give him some more to sink his teeth into, and hopefully it's not just they're off TV and we don't see them or hear from them for months at a time. So we'll see. But I feel like yes, the answer to the question for me is yes. It's just you start to lose faith on the jacket, and he's just fucking like clowning.
Man, right? Dude, right? They took out the what was it, the belt with the all polka dot belt too.
Yep.
I was like,
visionary on the belt. Yeah, and then he had the coat on, and he was just in the corner, and the crowd is reacting, and he's like, yeah, I got his shit on, yeah, just having a good time. That's my dude, man. I love Seth Rollins. But yeah, man, as far as making stars, yes, it's just they pick and choose, and it's just hard to really like say, okay, they're good at making stars now. Whereas, I can't forget the Keith Lees, I can't forget the Karrion Crosses, and even people there now. Finn Balor, jury's still out. Like, is the main roster ever going to figure out Finn Balor? They're on a good road right now with him being heel.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed that they, follow through.
Let me ask you this. I got a question. What if Keith Lee stayed with WWE? Play ball. Okay, I'll be Bearcat Lee. You think he could have got that character over?
I think he's talented enough to have done it. I do. I just think that, it's hard to speculate, on
I know we
him
were
and what he's thinking.
Yeah.
But it just there was so much, like, there was rumors that he was getting sent down to learn how to be a heavyweight, and you see his wrestling style changed when he got to the main roster.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to fully do the things that made him famous. Being that like big guy who could do like cruiserweight moves, like that was what was special about him. And then you take that away from him. So I think he just kind of lost a little bit of who he was when he was on the main roster. So could he have gotten over? Yes, because the best version of Keith Lee always gets over. He's charismatic. Yeah. He's a great wrestler. He's amazing. He's awe-inspiring as a wrestler. It's just, I don't know if their vision of what a big man is jives with what Keith Lee's abilities and what makes Keith Lee great. I think those are opposing things.
That's fair enough.
So for me, it's like it would have taken WWE to just allow Keith Lee, just like with Cody, where they're allowing Cody to be the best version of himself.
Yep.
They would have had to have done that with Keith Lee and allow Keith Lee to be the best version of himself, just true to himself. Don't try to mold him in your vision. Let him show you how great he can be. And just, I think it would have worked.
Yeah, that's true. I would say this, because based off of Keith Lee's interview with Chris Jericho, and when he said about the whole character, what they wanted to do with the whole character change, and he had some concerns he wanted to talk, and he said Vince McMahon actually, got up from like from the gorilla position because he's usually directing the show for Monday Night Raw, and he actually got up and talked with him, and he said he never does that. So when he said that, I'm like, man, maybe Vince did see him as a big star, but in his vision, no. Like, and I just wonder, could he kind of, maybe he would have got that over, and then eventually he could have morphed into something more of him. He could have had more pulled in. Like, okay, I'm willing to play ball. You saw that. Now I got a little bit more juice. Now you'll listen to some more of my requests, like they do with Drew McIntyre, because Drew McIntyre even said on interviews, like, I call my own shots when it comes to promos, because they trust him now. So I realize it's more of a give and take. So it could have happened, but we never know now.
Yeah. And I think, Pete Dunne, aka Butch, like that's a great example of what was happening with, Keith Lee as far as, the name change and, changing his personality to an extent. Like he wasn't this in NXT at all, but he's doing the best he can with it, and he's playing ball. And so we'll see, like, will that pay off? Will they see something in him? And then eventually he can morph into something that could be, a champion, a mainstay, like a focal point of their show. We'll see. I think to me, the two that really are the next, like, question marks for me are Max Dupree and Butch. It's those two. I got a spotlight on them. Like, will this work? And they are trying. Like they are actually putting their whole selves into those characters. So, with doing that, I hope that gives them the trust from Vince, or earns them the trust from Vince, to then partner up and then try some things and do things their way. And yeah, man, that's we'll see. But with Keith Lee, yeah, man, it's just he never could truly, like, really be himself, on that main roster. And, like you said, we'll never know what that could have been. But I just think that Keith Lee, I mean, he showed it to us at Survivor Series and at the Rumble. That crowd was ready, to be just all in on Keith Lee. Man. And it just, it's crazy. Crazy to think he's that out of the company in less than a year.
Could have been something special. And I think with the AEW, they said, "Oh, game changer." I'm like, yeah, game changer, and we'll see now.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting too, because Keith Lee is in AEW now, and is Keith Lee going to be better than he was in NXT, better than he was in WWE? I think WWE, I think he has that ability, because they're just going to let him do his thing when it comes to the matches.
Yeah.
But like storyline wise, we'll see, because that's not their strength. So are they going to really get people to care about Keith Lee more than WWE, more than NXT? That I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. There's a tease a little bit with him and Swerve and potentially, having a feud there. So there's a little bit of story starting, but are they going to really get into it? And we know, flesh it out. Exactly. Because we know, Swerve can tell a story. Swerve can be vicious and, get you
I saw what he did in NXT,
Yes, exactly. So, for me, the elements are there. You got the right players. It's just, will they... It all comes down to story. At the end of the day, that's the theme of this episode for AEW. It all comes down to story. Tell the right story. You get people to care. And those matches that you love and you think it's great and all that, it even gets heightened more when you're telling a great story. So...
Preach, brother. Because like I said, man, as a fan, I am a fan of the storytelling first before the wrestling, because I feel I want to get invested in the story, because it enhances the wrestling match between the two people. Like now I'm even more invested. Like that could have happened with the Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa, just giving it more time so I can see how, just it's at a boiling point. But
and Serena Deeb tried. She tried. She was pissed. And she was talking about it and saying it like, "Hey, this is ridiculous. I'm being
shaved my
disrespected."
head. I got what she got a breast job or something like that. I was like,
yeah. Like, kudos to her for trying to get it to be a little bit more, emotionally driven, from her perspective. But she's supposed to be the heel. It almost made me want to root for her, because of everything she was saying. Like that was a great job by her to try to get, their feud to a better height than it was. But it just didn't have that from a story perspective. But the match again was fire. So, but for AEW, that's their next step. Yeah. The wrestling, no one's worried about whether or not they can put on a 5-star wrestling match.
Right.
That's not the problem.
Their wrestling is
do we care? How much do we care about that 5-star wrestling match? How much do we care about those wrestlers going into it? And then like, they could be so great. It's just right there. But telling great stories is that one thing that I feel like, all right, just more focus on that, and specifically on that women's side too. Let's really get some focus on storytelling in the women's division. And I think
stories.
Yeah, that
they'll want to see some good stories. Watch 2.0. Legato oh man, that whole story. Oh man.
Oh dude, it's funny. I have not watched 2.0 much at all. I've followed a little bit of what's been going on, but I have not seen it like at all. Like the last they did a In Your House, right?
In Your House on last Saturday, I believe. Yeah. It was a solid show.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I do want to catch the whatchamacallit, the main event was Braun Breaker versus Gacy, right?
Yeah, it was all right. I'm gonna be
that was okay. Well,
it was all right. I gotta worry about that one. I think the two just didn't click. Like I couldn't get invested in the story. It was just one of those things that, all right, these guys don't really have too much chemistry that I can, oh man, they just put on a banging match. Like, nah, it was all right, man.
What was the match you would recommend?
Oh, the Carmelo Hayes and what's his name? Cameron Grimes. And Legado del Fantasma against what's his name? The Italians.
Oh, the turf war that they had going on. D'Angelo?
Yeah, Tony D'Angelo. It was a 6-man tag, so whoever loses have to join that family. So they had a good stipulation too. And
Tony D'Angelo side one, right?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
so he got Santos Escobar, bro. Just treat him like a butler, man. It's crazy. Man. Seeing Santos just I was like, damn, Santos is you. Woo, you gotta figure a way how to get out of that, bro. It's gonna last too long,
man. Well, there you go. That's the recommendation for 2.0 on the episode. I'll check some of that out. That's a good recommendation there.
You got some good stories.
Oh man, storytelling. It's all about the storytelling. With that said,
hold on. Speaking of storytelling, I got a bonus topic.
Okay,
because we did highlight about women's wrestling. Let's highlight the triple threat of Hell in a Cell, how bang of a match that was between Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Becky. Like, they had the first match and they just hit it. They just going, man. Just the chemistry they all had. Seeing Bianca bring her power game, you seeing Becky bring her cunningness, the being smart, and you see Asuka just showing the agility, the strikes. It was just all on point, man. I enjoyed that match, man. That was probably like my favorite wrestling match. If I was to, grade it, I'd say that was my favorite wrestling match on Hell in a Cell. To be the women's triple threat.
Yeah, it was a solid matchup. I mean, it's a great way to start it off. Lots of energy there. All three women, just the chemistry, you could see it. I thought Asuka was the MVP of the match. There was a sequence there where she hit Becky with like a 20-hit combo, that just straight out of Tekken, just again destroyed Becky Lynch. It was
shout out
stiff
to
too.
Mark. Yeah, shout out to Marks with Mike because he was saying like, man, that was like an ultra combo.
There we go.
I was like,
that.
yeah,
I like
spot
that.
on, bro.
Ultra.
I'm like, come on, Becky, hang in there, hit it with a combo breaker, combo breaker.
All right.
She was just eating that shit,
He was out. He was out of it, just getting destroyed. I said, "Wow, where did this come from?" Oscar, okay.
No, that was NXT Oscar right there.
Everybody.
Like, hold on.
Yeah.
Bow,
It was perfect.
Another backhand.
She had hit her, then Becky went down, then she kneed her, or no, she kicked her in the gut, and she popped back up, then she hit her with the back fist. It was like the combo was just perfect, and it was on purpose and made sense. I'm like watching it, like damn. Like it just kept going.
Like, oh shit, that shit was stiff. Like,
oh my god, the backhands. The shit.
Yes.
Bah. It's kind of like I don't know if you caught the backhand that happened on UFC. The UFC show last night, the women's strawweight match is basically a number one contenders match, and Zhang Wei Li basically it's known as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, strawweight fight ever. This was a rematch of that fight. That was for the championship. This one was not for the championship. 3 rounds, and they were going at it. It was fucking war. But the second round, they were going at it, and all of a sudden, Zhang Wei Li just out of nowhere, spinning back fist. Joanna did not see that coming, and she got hit, and it's like her brain shut off, and instinctively, I think she was still trying to throw a punch, but she went like this, and her face smushed on the mat. Just she was a board like this, just like Superman pose.
Superman pose.
Like, I was like, oh no, she goes. So yeah, that's basically. But that spinning back, that shit is real, man. It was like, you know, the Judas effect. Someone told me to, like when they saw it, they're like,
oh yeah,
the Judas. So anyway, a little UFC, in there too. But yeah, no, that matchup, man, it was great. It was a great matchup overall, and Bianca using what she had learned from Becky, basically in terms of tactics, and like taking advantage. Okay, see you
maybe
hit a little rock bottom, right? Maybe a power rock bottom over there. Okay, I got you.
No, there wasn't no 50% rock bottom in those matches. The first one, it was a weak ass rock bottom. I said 25%. No, I say 25. I think I said 25. Chris in the Facebook group said 23. I think he said 23 point something. But Dom, he said 50. I was like, nah, ain't no 50. Nah, 50. She was out of breath. She was out of breath. She had nothing left. She had nothing left in that weak ass rock bottom.
50%. I give her 50% just off respect.
Oh man. But shout out to Becky and her character work. Her is just, she is going mental. She is so desperate for gold.
Dana Brooke though. That should never happen. I don't care what's happening to you.
She said, where she say that promo after she lost her Raw Women's title, she was like, I hit my bottom. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Jesus. Yeah, you This is worse.
Yeah, this is worse. But I loved it. Her going for the 24/7 championship. She was like, hold on. Hit the pause button, flag on the play. And nobody gonna be winning belts around here.
Not happening to me again.
I'm like, I'm done with this shit. No. Dana, we gonna fight for that. I was like, what? I was like, oh, this is great. And I hope she wins. I hope she wins and make the, like, one of the most relevant titles.
That would be the most relevant, yes. If she were to become 24/7 champion, if you'd have told me that a year ago or even a couple of weeks ago, I'd be like, what? Becky Lynch, her career's over. Like, if she's running around chasing, I'd have been so mad. But the way they did this, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I kind of like this because this really shows how far she's fallen.
She's off her rocker, bro. What if she won? And she was like, all right, I'm going to go for the Raw Women's. I'm going to be back to Becky 2 belts with the 24/7.
Oh, no. I mean, it's 2 belts. Oh, man.
Give it to me.
That'd be awesome. Yes.
Give it to me.
That'd be awesome. Oh, man. All right. Hey, I think that right there is a perfect point to call it an episode. Oh, man. Lots of fun coming on back here doing this episode. Yeah, I'm excited to get back in the groove. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait. So let's do it. But before we go, as always, Devin. It's that time. I hope you're ready. This has been a while. Yeah. So I hope you're ready for this. Sir, please tell the people where they can catch us.
Yes, all the time. I'm going to do a couple of shout outs. I got to shout out one of the best Facebook groups of all time, the Clark Street Wrestling Community. We've been having a great time, having some good, hilarious times in our posts, especially in the live threads too. We had an awesome time in the Hell in a Cell live thread, discussing about the percentage and power of the Becky Rock Bottom, courtesy of the Messiah podcast. He kicked it off. And they just took it and ran with it.
I didn't think this would be all this.
Dude, soon as she did it, it's like Chris was like 23.7. I'm like, what?
Oh, I love it.
I'm like, oh, this is fun. So shout out.
50%.
Yeah. He was like, put some respect. I'm like, nah, bro, that was a weak ass 25% rock bottom. That's what it was, man. But big shout out to the Clark Street Wrestling Community, man. One of the best Facebook groups. You can look for it, search for it. Go ahead, we'll embrace you. Doesn't matter if you love AEW, WWE, MLW, some good old Impact Wrestling. We will embrace you. We will embrace you with open arms. All right. Now, you can always find the podcast on multiple social platforms. You got Twitter, you got Instagram, you got the TikTok. Yes, TikTok has been blowing up. I just uploaded a very funny old school video of Scott Steiner and what's his name? Bubba Dudley when they was in the back. This little 8-second clip. And he was like, man, I got freaks for 9 days of the week. I was like, bro, it's 7 days. He was like, what you talking about? I'm the big bad. He was like, what you talking about? I'm the big Papa Pump. I was like, it's been blowing up. It's like over 60,000 views right now. So if you want to look at it, go have a laugh, comment, like it, whatever. But yeah, we on a TikTok, and I can't forget about YouTube as well. We have the entire video platform of our podcast on YouTube and the audio portion on ClarkStreetWrestling.com. ST for the abbreviation, where we have all of our lovely merch as well. Get your merch, and you know it's beach towel season. Towel season. Cold as hell right now. I was like, God damn, it's chilly. Shit. Let me get my hoodie. Clark Street Wrestling hoodie. We stay warm. We stay toasty. All right, because it's cold. But tomorrow's going to be hot as shit. It's going to be 90. All right? So get your
Clark advisory.
Yes. It's going to be humid.
Get that hot sand.
Yes. It's a bad look. Yes. ClarkStreetWrestling.com/yo pleasure. It is decided. Oh, that felt so good.
Yes, it did. We back. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Again, happy to be back. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Devin, I'm Hafeez. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. Yeah, we are back. Yes, the ones of podcasting. Remember that. Circle the debate.
I was waiting.
Debate coming soon. Y'all gonna get this work. Y'all really gonna back up AEW after we just destroyed the women's division. Y'all gonna get this work. Y'all gonna get this huge ass L delivered courtesy of the ones of podcasting to my Messiah of podcasting. Well, this way. Hold on. This way. There we go.
There we go.
Podcasting. All right, and the tribal chief. Yeah, get this work. Let's go. It's over.